inside yourself. Let me talk to you for a little bit. Okay. That's right. Yeah, it's not a problem. Esoteric to the exoteric, all is thoughtless. Yeah, everything y'all know is common knowledge. Yeah. Alright now. Yeah, okay. It's cosmic nonsense. Alpha and Omega, Alphabet and Amazonas. Where this water dripping from just is not a faucet. Yeah. Alright now. I just be in a dream, still I can't even wait. Asking me where Uriel from, I came out of space. Beautiful spirits in the sky, still creating the day. If you don't got your own mind, you gon' stay in a flame. Let me ask you, what you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal, yeah. What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal, yeah. Demons from the past like the axe, do you remember me? Going in the dark is being trapped up in a memory. Imagine all my enemies laughing at the end of me. The energy they gave got me surpassing all they distant dreams. Don't act like this is just in me, it's something more than that. All this knowledge that I be getting, right where the Lord be at. Pain is like rain in the brain, right where you storming at. Front and center, I need some cover, just like a quarterback. Yeah, going back to my early days, I was on my third dizzle. Yeah, fucked around with the wrong people, now I got trust issues. Yeah, watch the ones who got a lot of problems and they try to fuck with you. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, they the ones gonna give you trust issues. Because there's always agendas behind a relationship. Cause they don't really fuck with ya behind all the faking shit. You really think you need your sister or that guy you was staying with? You really need to get the picture, in your mind you ain't making sense. What was you gonna do if I told you now? What was you gonna do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal, yeah. What was you gonna do if I told you now? What was you gonna do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal, yeah. In this world with nobody, you know, they wanna know where the pilot flew. Everything externalized that's outside came from inside of you. Gotta pick up their pieces, you know, but ain't nobody there to claim it. For sure, since the puzzle completed, now everybody gon' be waiting. What the fuck, yeah? What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal, yeah. What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal, yeah.
Hey, I got that fire. One hit of this is gonna take you higher. I do not tire. I'm with my goons, we rollin' like tires. We building empires. Fresh off the dome, I don't need a writer, a lover and fighter. Just tell the truth, I don't mess with liars. First I pay my dues, now I just break the rules. Everybody acting cool, I'ma just act a fool. and I got the juice. I get it how I live it, and they told me I couldn't do it, so I turned around and did it. Man, they told me this was impossible, made it possible. Walk around like, what the fuck is an obstacle? I got lots to do. Mind my business and own it too. I'm a hot dude, self-employed, making boss moves. I know I'm rude, I'm meant to be. Being a rebel, my specialty. Ay, I do this effortless, can't no one step to this. I'm always right in there, ain't nothing left to it. Not the dude you wanna mess with. Soul eater with the death grip. Shouldn't have got me, grant your death wish to the afterlife. Dark as hell, but I rep the light. Heaven sent, walking around like, hey, I got that fire. One hit of this is gonna take you higher. I do not tire. I'm with my goons, we rolling like tires. We building empires. Fresh out the dome, I don't need a writer, a lover and fighter. Just tell the truth, I don't mess with liars.
Yeah, it's flight boss. Yeah, no, we on fire, you can see at night. It's flight boss, for sure. Spaceship moving at speed of light. It's flight boss. If you ain't though, give you a parachute to complete that flight. It's flight boss. It's flight boss. Baby, it's the polymer. Straight gun, this is my main disguise. Two archangels coming getting sanctified. Uranus vibes got me seeing shit that ain't aligned. And you can't even trace my mind from the flame inside. We bout to scheme on you niggas, I can't wait to rhyme. Shout out to RhymeSkeem, he got an amazing mind. They remix the situations, man, I hate a lie. The only way you take our spots if I ain't alive. Forever I'm low-key, making my creative endeavors a gold dream. Like a big ocean that's set up with no stream. Whatever happens, whatever it's gonna be. Wishing on a star, you ain't going far with them negative traits. Heart got hardened in a delicate place. Emotional waters got you silent away. But we on fire, man, turn the snow hell to a flame. Goddamn,
I got that fire. One hit of this is gonna take you higher. I do not tire. I'm with my goons, we rolling like tires. We building empires. Fresh out the dome, I don't need a writer, a lover and fighter. Just tell the truth, I don't mess with liars.
Hey, mommy, look at the sky. What are those things? What are those? Look, mommy, is that a bird? Is that a plane? What are those? Are those flame balls? What is it?
oh, calm down, Jimmy. That's this RhymeSkeem and Dora the Pilot Man. Flights.
She a full-grown witch. Yeah, dudes calling her a bitch before she write their name down. Throw that paper in the ditch. Now they life fucked up and they luck just switch. Heartbroken, feeling numb again. She told herself she never fall in love again. And that was all true until I pulled up the block and she saw me, dude. Yeah, in the instant we caught eyes. Magic was the moment we instantly stopped time. This voodoo she using is too true. Connection divine, she playing dumb like who knew? And I don't know as much as I wish I did, but I stay on point like a fucking shuriken. See, I thought I was gonna get it in. Little did I know what I was getting in. She loves me so, she loves me not. She wants my soul, she wants my... And I know that this life here ain't really what it seems, cause I try to run away and she show up in my dreams. Her love obsessive, it makes me fiend. She just a queen, still looking for a king. I'm thinking this sent from above. Little did I know though, this that bruja love.
Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. She
walk like she can have anything she want on the spot. See, they really only hating cause she everything they not. Wisdom of Yamaya, the swagger, Oshun, the strength of Volgoon. Cross her once, that's your doom. Send you straight to your tomb. And I'm like a movie, got me coming soon. Never knew she was the sun to my moon. until the moment that I got inside her womb. She loves me so, she loves me not. She wants my soul, she wants my... And I know that this life here ain't really what it seems, cause I try to run away and she show up in my dreams. Her love obsessive, it makes me fiend. She just a queen, still looking for a king. I'm thinking this sent from above. Little did I know though, this that bruja love.
Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you the plug for the hoo-ha. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my fupa. I heard Magic Mike got the pipe, I came to see about the hoopla. Real goddess in the flesh, whole flex, the big body high priestess. Preceded by my rep, I've been here, divine feminine. Eat the hearts of many men, I told her God, when you wanna spar, we could get it in. Talking about the stars, then it got a little physical. My Venus and his Mars and a whole sex ritual. Talking to my lower lips to tell me what he want. Like, don't push me, I get gushy off a taunt. Taste the power in the yoni, he devouring the yoni. Help you manifest when you come, give a testimony. Tell him how I made you run and see what other tricks I'm holding. How I fix it if it's broken, ooh. Catch it when I throw it, ooh. Deep stroking in this ocean, that is fortitude. Look you in your face, tell you what to do, I'm a leader too. No calamus root, for the impression that I leave on you. Quick energy exchange when you need a boost. Must.
Shout out to Mercs. Shout out to everyone that was a part of all these projects. My bad, y'all. I'm really bad when it comes to promoting my music. I'm gonna work on that. I completely forgot to tell y'all Taurus is out, and I just finished the last song on Gemini. I changed it again, but I'm gonna put that out soon. But if y'all want, I can do listening parties. I just completely, I guess it slipped my mind. Actually, I'll do it then. I'll definitely do it then. I'll definitely do a listening party this upcoming next week. You guys trying to do that in the weekday, the weekend? Let me know. I'll probably put a poll up, and whichever day gets the most votes. Wait a minute. All right, y'all. Welcome to this Pisces season monthly peace report. For those of you who are, shout out to Dolo, of course. For those of you who are Infinity Club, you will have access to this replay. This, of course, is the 20th of March, okay, where we will effectively end Pisces season. And not only end Pisces season, certain things to look in mind by the time we step into Aries season in this final portal. Nothing will be ever the same again. You feel it, you see it in the world around you. The last time Pluto was here in Capricorn, this was shortly after the Declaration of Independence was signed, and France had already had its respective revolutions. Shout out to Christian Dixie. Okay, welcome to the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. And relative to that, you feel me? This definitely prepares you for a whole new era. Speculation about this, I'm gonna be honest, you're entering a whole new age of gods. The new age of there was a period throughout the Dark Ages where, when we, of course, before the age of humanity was the age of gods. It was an age with angels, what we would call mythological beings, but aren't really mythological, and magic, supernatural magic expressed itself. Then post fall, certain coming into the age of humanity, which in between this previous age and this age that had its several eras, the human age had its several eras. Humans, which you could argue are an invading force on this earth, so Mother Gaia might see human beings as an alien species, but whether you believe it evolved, well, yeah, regardless, this is what coincided certain events, one of the most popular being the fall of the angel clan, 1/3 of the angel clan, the fallen, which corrupted elements of humanity. And see, the true purpose, like, I'm using the fall of the angel clan because some of you are angels and you still have past life memories of fighting as a part of that battle. Almost every angel has soul memory of the fall. Some of you, some angels chose to fall with Lucifer, others chose to stay. This isn't necessarily just a story, but there's different renditions of it, and that's just one of the most popular events. It's not the only one that happened. There's also the corruption of the Dragon Clan. For those of you who are more Scorpio centric, Ocean Star, welcome to the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. Most of the fallen angels convinced most of the Dragon Clan to fall with them, and so a lot of dragon wisdom was kind of kept occult and was distorted. There's only a very few dragons that kind of stayed pure with the original plan. And I want to really riff off here because what I'm doing right now is flexing my Piscean muscles in order to really come into high quality channels and high quality information. You have to be willing to just engage on certain dialogue with yourself or with others that makes little to no fucking sense, but makes all the sense in the world. Okay, it's easy if you have Pisces or 12th house energy, but I want you to know how this style of talking is expressly opposite Virgo. Virgo is analytical. So I'm going to tell you things in Virgo speech that are relative to this 3D reality, like the Grammys happened earlier, outside our cars, things that are more critical versus what I was talking about before, aspects of existence that are beyond this 3D that you would have to, guess what, believe. Virgo speech, you don't have to believe. You just have to analyze, and it's either there's factual evidence to back it up or not. Pisces speech, you have to believe. And it's a form of languaging that invites you beyond your critical mind so that you don't necessarily focus so much on the details of what I'm saying, but the essence of what I'm saying, if you can read between the lines. Applying a Virgo lens to Pisces works depending on the context, but that's the whole notion of what I want you to take with this season. There's nothing in Sagittarius, but there's also nothing in Virgo other than transiting moon transits. So I'm not saying that you should necessarily lose your mind. You want to, but you definitely don't want to get so caught up on details that are subject to change anyway. Okay. And yeah, that you may deal with certain people who are more neurotic and finicky towards these minute, trivial details. And if they want to project whatever on you, they have the right to, but don't let their slowness drag you down. And don't let their projection of insecurity drag you down. Because if they were secure in themselves, they wouldn't feel the need to constantly project that. They can acknowledge they don't agree with what you're doing and go about their day. But the fact that they still find the need to project is cognitive dissonance, to which they only have because you're telling the truth and they just can't accept reality. Anyway, some of you have fallen angel memories. And the whole point of that is, with the corruption of the Dragon Clan, Dragon Wisdom, angelic fallen soldiers, the creation of demons, cursed spirits, and malevolent beings, you have to understand humanity was meant to be the extension of the age of the gods. You had the golden age of the gods, then you have like the new generation that's bringing in the new gods. And in this in between where this corruption has come into, we were supposed to be able to wield magic. We were supposed to be able to come into so much of our abilities, but because of all this corruption post flood, you know what I mean? We had to, so much magic had to be sealed. So much wisdom had to be sealed. It's not until now that we're at the end of age where a lot of this is getting unsealed, mainly through your DNA and your essence. Oh my God, this is so fucking awesome.
We are coming into a exact 29-degree sextile of the sun and Pluto, where with this sextile, which will never happen again, by the time we're here next year, the sextiles that are coming in through here have already come into Aquarius. So it's a retrograde sextile. You're going to be at the precipice on the edge of your seat with this sextile of looking at the fall of several empires, the end of a literal age. Absolutely. From alien constructs to just doing more research on what I can find on degrees. It's definitely something that once I compile more, I'll definitely look at it. But definitely, you know what I mean? This is really, really important because we've made it. Now, relative to the Pluto cycle that 2008 was starting in Capricorn, and then Jupiter, which since 2010, isn't that so amazing? Since 2010, right? An entire Jupiter cycle from 2010 to 2022. In that one span, we had Pluto finish out of Capricorn from 2008 to 2024. And now we're having 23. And now we're having Neptune from 2012 to 2025 finish out of Pisces. So these cycles, respective, of course, with a Saturn in Virgo coming into Saturn Pisces, a Saturn completion cycle, okay, we have collectively and socially evolved with this element of Pluto. People born after 95 awaken this Plutonian supernatural ability at the godlike level, are returning into the new age of the gods, where everyone moving forward is an awakened god. Let me say an awakened human, because a god, you are a god or a goddess. You are a creator of your reality. Human is God asleep. God is man awakened. Goddess is woman awakened. So this is not necessarily the most simple process, but it's not too complex either. And it requires purity, Scorpio, before you transform and ascend Sagittarius into godhood, Cap, Aqua, Pisces. And now, at the end of all ages and things, the selection and judgment process has been occurring. Many of you have been chosen. You have been selected as vessels, conduits, reincarnations, incarnations, and expressions of gods that have chosen to awaken from within you. Some of you are already post awakening. Others of you have yet to awaken and are still in the process. All right. And there's a sense of wonder here that if you let the crabs in the barrel draw you down, and those who are stuck in 3D, you won't necessarily enable yourself to level up into the higher realms of your existence. Higher realms meaning the higher faculties of your mind. I want you to meditate on this image right here as you look at the planets. If you look at Pisces is the loading screen. The reason why I wanted to bring the past 12, 30, and 248 years with Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn is because at this precipice, relative to this last cycle of evolution, where all we were waiting for as a collective was to give birth to this new generation of gods, any one of you born after 95, their vibration can sustain this transcendence of consciousness. And what I'm basically saying in a nutshell is, as we step into Aries season, it's not just Aries season. This is the final portal that's leading us into the beginning of the end of the world while we already create the new world. So imagine an overlapping Venn diagram. We finally are at the precipice of the end of the world. But while the world is officially starting to end, we're already going to now be in the beginning. And I'll actually break down what this looks like. If you can see, Saturn is 1 degree Pisces. right? And then we're going to step into the new moon on the 22nd. That new moon cycle with Jupiter is the beginning of the preparation of the new world order that's going to kick in 2 years from now. So once we are now out of this final portal, we're already building the new world while the old world is ending. We're kicking off this brand new evolution cycle. And so 2 years from now, all right, once we step into 2025 and both of these energies move into Aries, as you can see, with Pluto in Aquarius, we're in the new world. And Uranus, of course, in Gemini. This, ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is the new world order. Okay, new Aries, world, Saturn order. The beginning of Saturn and Pisces, of the end, Pisces, of the world, Saturn. Okay, this is replayable for Infinity Club members. All right, so that's really as simple as that is. But because Neptune is coinciding this Saturnian cycle, this is now, once we step out of that diagram and complete the 7 years of tribulation that will conclude 2027 as Uranus goes through Gemini, and that's the final part of the tribulation. The hardest part of this tribulation was 2020 to 2025. 2020 to 2022 was the first part, the beta test. 2023 to 2025 is the darkest part. This is Saturn in Pisces, and this is the part of this tribulation where so many people who you saw walk this spiritual path, so many people who you see have all these followings, all these celebrities, they're all going to be cut away, weeded away, all exposed. All these people who you thought, actually, it's only going to be, by the time Saturn and Pisces is done, it's only going to be a small few people whose integrity is tested, and you find out they kept it real the whole time. Even me, I'm not even going to take this time to just let this get to my head. I will even make sure this next 2 years I hold myself to integrity so that not at the very last minute I slip up and I get exposed. This is not a joke for anybody. And so this is literally the end of all things. And the beautiful thing about this is during this next 2 year period, and of course after 2025 to 2027 is the final revolution of light. It's coming into the new world order where 2023 to 2025 is literally where everything starts to change. Everything, Saturn changes, Pisces. This 2 year period that's ending this old cycle literally is blossoming your supernatural consciousness to prepare you for where you actually fit in the new world order, if you even make it past the selection process. And then 2025 to 2027 is judgment, which is going to influence by 2027 who are the new leaders who are going to build the new society from 2027 far out through the 2040s. And that's the 7 year tribulation period in a nutshell. Everything you did from 2020 to 2022 will determine if you make it through 2023 to 2025, where we're going to see mass extinction events, wars, and basically the end of our old society. Now, here's really the way to see if you're chosen or selected. Okay. If you're not chosen, if you're not selected, these next 2 years will be a literal nightmare. When pandemonium strikes, you're going to be going fucking crazy. If you are chosen, you're going to be seeing shit fall apart in your life or around you, and you're just going to be calm. You're just going to be like, this is everything I trained for. Please. You're just going to have such a connection with your inner world, and you'll realize the external world is a delusion, and you create your reality. That's it. Because what Saturn and Pisces is doing is it's seen everyone cap this entire cycle. It's seen everyone act like, oh, I'm good, I'm spiritual. Oh shit, I'm this, I'm that. The fuck was that? Oh, someone walking their dog. Oh, that shit got me shook. I thought someone jumped the fence. And it's testing primarily if you're really about it. So Saturn in Pisces is putting everyone around the collective in a situation where they have nothing else but their faith to go on. And you know what I'm saying? Those of you who know your God, you're going to do exploits. Other people, they're just going to fall off the wayside because they never really did any shadow work or the work. Okay, so this is really exciting because coming at the end of Pisces season, that square 27 degrees Gemini is going to fundamentally change the way you understand personally how to act off the instinct of your mind and use magic in a new way. You've been using magic your whole life, but now that through you, sealed ancient magic is unsealed, or new versions of magic you're bringing through you, you're leading the charge. This is similar to now in this 2-year period, as we're coming out the old world before 2025, we're kind of more in the new world than ever. You are beta testing this new consciousness while everyone else who maybe failed the last test, this is their last chance before the final judgment 2025 2027 to kind of move through. Okay, and I want to actually open up the door because this last 2 years legendary stuff is going on. You are a part of history and it's nothing around you. You are the most revolutionary legendary part of history. The fact that I get to serve you is such a fucking honor. This is really, really important because once again, we're in a very crucial precipice point. From North Node Gemini to North Node Pisces, all of this Piscean energy is a mutable influx in that humanity can pass the test and we can have a utopia. We can beat this dark force, okay? Or we can lose and we can fall into nuclear holocaust. That's the changeable element of Pisces. This is Pisces season is the final boss battle before we step into Aries season and bring in the Saturn Pisces transit to where we're either going to pass or fail. If we fail 2025, the New World Order, all these bad guys and elite villains, they're going to win. If we win, we will have the pipeline for revolution from 25 to 27. Those of you who are chosen, whether we win or lose, you're still going to have that pipeline. But for us to win, it's not a numbers game. Like we have to save as many people, but it's really as far as the status quo having to be maintained or changed depending on what side you're on. All right. It's just that whole notion of this next 2 years is up in the air. And I'm going to be honest. We failed Saturn Capricorn. We failed Saturn Aquarius. There's certain things that were supposed to happen Saturn Capricorn that didn't happen. There's certain things that were supposed to be stood up against Saturn Aqua that didn't happen. So it's kind of like being down 2-0 in the first half. And now you have to win this last one. Now, that's just the group project. For those of you who did the work individually, you'll definitely still be able to make it through, but it's just going to focus more on the individuality. A lot of you will know what I'm saying because after Saturn left Aquarius, that second decan, many of you might have switched off. Many of you might have gone from reach out mode to internal mode. And if you felt that, it's because you felt the destiny switch, where at some point there was going to be that critical mass reached. And trust me, B, so much more people are awake now than were before. So this isn't about being woke, but this is about what people choose to do. It doesn't really matter if you're woke. If you still choose to let people do the wrong thing, you're complicit. And, you know, a lot of people give in to fear. Giving in to fear is the same thing as admitting defeat. And it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. That's what makes this a revolution. Strong times make hard times make strong men. Like this, it is what it is. So some people think that it's supposed to be easy, and you know they're inadvertently complying to stuff they shouldn't comply with. And this isn't about you picking up guns or picking up signs to protest. If you want to boycott, do that. This is about maintaining your individuality. The revolution is you. Every single time you maintain your uniqueness outside the narrative that's forced for you to fit into this society, you're being the revolution. You don't have to do anything violent. You don't have to do anything weird. You just have to uncompromisingly be yourself. Because now here's the whole point of this final portal. Irrespective to this climax point where look at how everything is at the end of the zodiac, but facilitating the first three from Aries to Taurus and Gemini, you have now loaded your superpowers. Aries is your active identity, the activation of your power through the name. If you look at any show, before someone activates an ability, they say the name of it. Taurus is the values you stand on and the strength of your natural energy and physical senses. Gemini are the abilities and skill sets and the language and the attitude that accompanies this identification of your activation of character. Cancer begins the integration of this by helping you understand the roots of your identity, where you come from, and how that makes you feel, and how you feel, and how comfortable you feel being you, and where you feel comfortable being you. Leo now takes the first four of these zodiac signs and it expresses this boldly as a creative talent. How you now begin the social integration of taking the individuality of who you are and expressing that on stage. And Virgo puts all this shit together so that now we can make this a habit and it's a routine that we do every day. Now, once I practice this and make perfect, I present it in Libra, and now I'm Bruno Mars performing every day like clockwork, or every other day like clockwork on stage. That is the Aries to Libra pipeline, the individuality that I express socially as the classic artist that I am. And then Scorpio takes my resources, shares them with your resources so that we can gain a trust like a bank, where now through fundraisers, we pull and trust each other through sex, and now come into more intimacy and come into transformation through purity and wisdom. And then Sagittarius, through this transformation, brings a higher perspective through philosophy to guide our way of life with the vision that we see that takes us there. Opposite Gemini of your thoughts, this is what makes up your philosophy, which helps you understand the Virgoan behavior and routine. And as you walk up this adventure, you make it to the top of the mountain in Capricorn, which is your reputation, which is the integrity, opposite Cancer of your sincerity, that enables you to accomplish accolades. Around this period, Sag and Cap, in 50s to 60s, you're at the peak of your life. And then we come into Aquarius, which is the community you belong in, the associates that you've made through your career exploits, and of course, the sociological understanding of how everything is connected, but how everyone is unique as well. And then we have Pisces, where Virgo breaks down everything into its individual part. Pisces looks at how the interrelated connectivity combines every individual part, like a watch broken down into its fragments, knowing how and what every cog connects so that that watch can function as one being, just like your body. And now, relative to this Pisces season final portal, everything you have ever learned from Aries, from Gemini, from Virgo, from Capricorn is all coming together. You are completely evolving your self-concept. And this is having you come out this portal mastered with your superpowers. That's it. By the time we finish Pisces season, you are going to be ready, okay, to step into the beginning of the end of the world and the darkest part of this tribulation chapter. But as this gets darker, you get stronger. Their only attack on you is going to be fear, but you've been leveling up, and it's time to use everything you've learned to fight for the revolution. Pisces season is this state of being that's going to put you in this situation to prepare for Aries, where you will move in this direction. So all you have to do this season is imagine. That is it. That is it. Don't let society trick you into feeling you have to do anything at this final part of winter where everything is dead. You will resurrect in the spring, March 20th. And when you resurrect, that is the green light go. And that's when you're going to be moving forward. It is a reason why there's a lot of fear during this season, right before the new year, where you're supposed to be setting positive intentions and you're the most distracted with bullshit news. You want to imagineer everything possible that you can this season because you're being everything you want to be. For example, I'm a fucking unicorn. People just can't see my horns because I have an invisibility cloak and I'm in my human form. I'm not in my transformation form or my angel wings. And of course, my unicorn has shown. And a lot of people don't know this secret about me, but it's true. I'm a mythological being. I've been sorted in several texts, but it is what it is. I, in my heart of hearts, believe that this is what I am relative to 12 plus years of awakening small experiences that now come all fully into the big picture. Okay. And what's very, very, very important about this is once Aries season comes through, now we're going to take the actions of what we just spent all of Pisces season completing. So while Jupiter is in Aries, Venus is in Aries, Mars is in Gemini, you're already gaining ideas and this feeling of direction. You might feel like you're already in the new world, but we're still closing out the old world. And listen, some of you are realizing you've known you were an angel. Some of you are having synchronicities where people literally come up to you and be like, yo, I saw your angel form, or yo, you're such an angel. And it's literally verbatim, word for word stuff that you were really believing in yourself or gaining revelation from. And what's very, very, very important is with this sense of Pisces gives you the opportunity to tap into your multidimensional, limitless, infinite self, which is beyond this 3D, to where you can be anything. The only thing Virgo asks you is that you accept what you have for real, like your sex, you know what I'm saying? Like elements of your culture. But when it comes to your spirit, when it comes to this intangible nature, you can literally be whatever it is you want to be. You just have to have the responsibility to see it through. People do that first part, they don't do that second part, so that when what comes with what they want to be, they just play victim. That's the negative side of Pisces, instead of just owning it, which is Pisces extended into Taurus. Pisces without listening to Virgo is incomplete, but Virgo without listening to Pisces is also incomplete. So we have to have all the mutable signs all together. Know who you are. Okay. And what's very, 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 very important is that you have been revealed this forever. I've always believed Pisces is the jinn, and not in the evil way. Pisces is the genie. Pisces is the collective vibration that has to let go of its ego and grant other people's wishes. Pisces can grant other people's wishes. A lot of people don't know that. Pisces moon, sun, rising, and that it's the type of thing where like Pisces may not be able to grant their own wishes unless they're a special type of Pisces, but they can grant other people's wishes. And it's very important because this is where we come into the culmination of everything you've been intending, so that you can finally come into this final perspective. And it's very exciting because how we actually move forward with this really puts into perspective a great understanding of how much you've grown and where you're ready to go. So the first part of Pisces season starts with the ending of the Saturn transit, the activation, as we see now, the moon is in Taurus, of the cycle. What's going to happen as the moon is coming into the end of Taurus is this is putting you in a position to realistically come into a deeper grounding of metaphysical aspects of how elements of your dream are becoming real. And you want to be very mindful because a whole lot of what you're tapping into will suddenly feel like it's come out of nowhere. And this is the facet of the transit where the seed is growing through the ground and it hasn't broken through the ground yet. And so you have nothing but faith to move through because you know you planted a seed, but you don't see it growing through the ground. You just know it's going to grow through relative to the watering and nurturing you've been putting in. So coming into this new moon last week, and this first quarter square, how have you been watering these beliefs? Have you been wavering back and forth? Have you been lying to yourself by saying that it has to make logical sense in order to become reality? That's a lie. Human logic is basic. Human logic is not the end all be all. And there are so many forces in this universe alone that transcend logic. Okay. And in this transcendence of logic, it puts you in a position to take your power back. And what's also perfect, okay, is you are coming more out of the blockages that initially kept you in your box. And now that we've reached the end of this, it puts you in this position to realistically unpack, now that we're in the moon in Taurus, your supernatural with Uranus abilities with Pisces. So the new moon in Pisces is, and every single mutable sign transit that's at the end of the season is the be, do, have cycle. Okay. We be with Pisces, we do with Aries, we have with Taurus, then we be with Gemini, we do with Cancer, and then we have with Leo. Full moon, we be with Virgo, and then we do with Libra, and then we have with Scorpio. Third quarter square, we be with Sagittarius, we do with Capricorn, we have with Aquarius, then we have the balsamic phase in Pisces with Aries season, and then new moon in Aries, to where we start this, we're activating new power. So the new moon in Aries at March 22nd, 2023, we are activating new power while the beginning of the end of the world commences. And so before we activate new power with Jupiter, that's going to be one of the most lit Aries seasons we'll ever have in a while, until 2025, when Saturn and Neptune revive the fire. And that's the whole notion. Once Jupiter goes into Taurus, we don't have any light. We don't have any Aries. We don't have any Taurus. We don't have any Sag, other than Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And those are just like little lights moving through. So this is going to be the end game. The next 2 years are the end game. When you see people dropping like flies, people getting shot up in war, you have connected with the world within. And with this connection, you'll be able to move like an awakened being. And 2023 to 2025 is going to take you from level 1 to level 100. That's the whole key, because once we start this new moon in Aries cycle, you are now taking this awakening of your supernatural abilities as someone who's mastered their abilities, and we're starting the new moon cycle in Aries. Okay, who am I? You want the perfect analogy? And I would play clips from this in the Mercury, but Disney will copyright and block this. But Doctor Strange versus Multiverse of Madness. So we can say Doctor Strange, the movie, is this Pisces season. And I've used this analogy a lot, but I think it's the most accurate now. Pisces season is Doctor Strange, where Doctor Strange is taking and literally down to Saturn in Aquarius, 12th house to the sun of release. Doctor Strange is taking the totality of all of his expert medicine. The movie was really well in pointing out that Doctor Strange isn't just some rinky-dink average doctor. He was a very skilled surgeon who was perhaps one of the best and most genius surgeons in one of the most difficult fields that require high intellectualization. My mother is a pediatrician, and she's Saturn Aquarius. Dr. Shiva is Saturn Aquarius. Young Pharaoh is Saturn Aquarius. Saturn Aquarius brings high intellectualization and high knowledge ability, where these people, like, in order to even be a doctor, you have to have extensive knowledge and research. And all of that shit was thrown in the trash once Doctor Strange wanted to learn about magic. That's the most beautiful thing about that movie. Not a single one of that shit mattered. Now, granted, it was his innate genius that had him become the Sorcerer Supreme. We can't forget that too. But the movie made it very clear it wasn't his book smarts that made that. It wasn't anything that he learned in school that was the reason. And that's what I love about that movie. Doctor Strange is entirely Pisces, because it was all about humbling your ego. And it was all about looking beyond the physical and being able to believe. And so you have Doctor Strange, who we see transcend his existence. Doctor Strange went from hotshot, playboy, rich, genius surgeon to crippled hand. I don't know what the fuck to do with my life. What the fuck is magic? And he had to literally be humbled and recognize that he has something within him that's greater than anything he got from outside in the world. This is so fucking deep. But the reason why I want to use that movie as an example is at the end of Doctor Strange, he became Doctor Strange. He went from Stephen Strange or Doctor Strange to Doctor Strange. Okay, this is this analogy. You're gonna love this analogy so much. You're gonna love this analogy so much. So you have Doctor Strange, the movie, and at the end of the movie was his coming of discovery to where he was Doctor Strange, right? But then you have Civil War, or rather Endgame. Then you have Infinity War and Endgame, Avengers, to where now Avengers, Pluto and Aquarius, the culmination of supernatural teams. Doctor Strange was introduced in Endgame as Doctor Strange. You see where I'm getting at? So by the time we step into Aries season and we start the Endgame 2023 to 2025, you are now developing the identity of who you just became. This is where, coming in the Endgame, we got to see who Doctor Strange is more as a character, because he already became Doctor Strange in the respective Spider-Man movies. Do you see the subtle difference? The end of Doctor Strange, he had to release everything he knew and learned everything, like you're doing right now. And then at the end of Pisces season, 29 degrees, sextile Pluto, 29 degrees Pisces sun, you are your super self. You are Doctor Strange in the movie, who has gone through the final boss battle with the dark dimension. That's the opposition to Neptune. Okay, Neptune, the astral realm, the dark dimension, Dormammu. Yeah, I said it. We getting there. And after that, boom, you're your super self. You are your super self. Then coming into out of the portal, you are moving forward as your super self. So now it's a new level, new devil. Mind you, you're now Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange now still had to be Doctor Strange. It was still his new. So he came at an end, but now this was his new beginning. I hope this resonates, because the end game is the perfect analogy to do. End, Pisces, game, Saturn. That's it. End game. Snap. Your government predictively programmed you. And that's a crime of humanity, because they trying to finesse you. Okay. And the reason why this is very important is I want you to get fucking excited. You're literally Doctor Strange right now. Saturn in the 12th house of Pisces is you realizing that everything you've learned your whole life is shit compared to magic that you're creating in your life right now. And you're going through these tower moments to make you realize that there is an entire existence beyond this fake ass world you've been living your whole life. And you don't need a movie, because you're the real thing. You're fucking amazing. You're fucking amazing. Okay. And once we come at the end of Pisces season, the full moon is going to be the first final boss battle was full moon in Cancer against Pluto. The second final boss battle was the celestial final exam, where we had to be in front of Paula Abdul and Simon Cowell, full moon in Leo on stage against Aquarius, which we passed with flying colors. And now the final part of this 3-tiered dragon final boss battle is the dark dimension astral realm full moon Virgo against Dormammu, to where when everything in your reality goes against your beliefs, you still maintain your beliefs. That's the final test. The first test was a test of integrity, all right, through purity. The second test was also a test of integrity, but the integrity of the knowledge of yourself. Will you stay true or give in? The first one with Capricorn is, will you give in to fear? Cool. Now that we know that you won't give in to fear against Saturn, will you give in to another aspect of fear? Shame, peer pressure. Okay, now that we know that you won't change because you want other people's opinions, the last one is the last octave of fear, doubt. When everything in your 3D reality says you're delusional, says that you don't know what you're saying, even in light of evidence, will you still believe? For those of you who passed, congrats. You step into your super God self. You become Doctor Strange, or we're using our superhero names now. And then here's the thing. After 2025, when the North Node goes into Pisces of multidimensionality and Pluto's in Aquarius and Saturn and Neptune is in Aries and Uranus is in Gemini, your Doctor Strange multiverse of madness. Multiverse of madness had America Chavez, the new generation. Let's go. No one's breaking astrology down like this. No one's breaking astrology down like this. I just gave you the keys. And the whole movie of Doctor Strange 2 was centered around multi-dimensional aspects and versions of people and the new generation through America Chavez, who was the personification of the star card Aquarius, in my opinion. And it's so very important because 2025 to 2027 is that revolution push, the fight over your children. This next, the end game is very important because this is the war that's happening against your children. It's not against you, it's against the future. And if they can instill this new world order by 2025, your children will be successfully brainwashed, but not if you and I have anything to do with that. Many of you may not necessarily have been aware of the movement we've made. Consider the fact that now Forbes is making articles gaslighting those who study astrology as narcissistic and also as less intelligent. We did that. If we weren't out here talking about astrology, moving and shaking, doing a little bit here and there, we were a part of this movement. And now people are starting to see we a problem and it's not working. And so over the next 2 years is this critical mass crescendoing with Pluto and Aquarius to where it's going to be all out warfare. And Endgame is going to reveal who, of course, makes it to this multiverse of madness. And then once we finish the tribulation period in 2027, this is where you can akin that to the Marvel phase 5 and 6. Everything post 2027 is the new gen. By 2027, Pluto Sagittariuses, they're starting to have their Saturn returns. And that's actually, if you're Pluto Scorpio, and if you're born before 95, if you're born like in 94 or before, then your part of the war is to hold space for everyone born after 95. For Pluto Sag and Pluto Cap, but specifically the first half of Pluto Sag to get their Saturn returns. So people with Saturn Aries 96, 97, 98, Saturn Taurus 99, 2000, 2001, Saturn Gemini 2001, 2002, and Saturn Cancer 2003, 2004, 2005. We have to protect them because they all have the most advanced God level powers, and they're going to be the targets. They literally killed XXX Tentacion because he would have been such a major light for the new generation while he was getting ready to clean up his dirty life. dirty considering like if you were to ask him, he would say it was dirty, but that was part of it. Had to be dirty. That was part of his karma. He had to show you that. So they're targeting the new generation. Okay, Pluto Sag is the only weakness of that is they can die early because it's a wildfire. And these people, as they come into their Saturn return, are the most vulnerable. And so us, Pluto Libra, Pluto Scorpio, Pluto Virgo, us who we've already had our Saturn returns, some of y'all have children in these new generations, and your job is to just do right by them until they have their Saturn return, and then they're going to take the reins. And let me tell you fucking something. These Pluto Sag, these Pluto Cap kids, they didn't come here to fucking play around. All these people born 95, they did not fucking come here to play around. I swear to God, once they come into their Saturn return, they're about to fucking change everything. And that's it. And so before they come into their Saturn return, they can be susceptible to corruption, deception, and illusions. We have to lead by example, because if some of them come into their Saturn return and they've been turned into villains because of the evil way of this world, we're fucked. We're fucked. That's really the numbers game we're playing. How much kids of the new generation coming into 2027 can we inspire and influence to be in integrity? Because we need the future. It is these kids that are going to save all of us. They're our saviors. Okay, they represent this Christ energy. That's it. The major battle is going to be new gen versus new gen. The newer gen that carried the philosophy of evil from the old gen, and the new gen that carried the philosophy of evil or good from the old gen. And you're either going to support one side or the other. I hate to make it a dichotomy like that, but this is huge. And this is where this is really relevant to say. And this is where personally I feel like Pluto Scorpio is the most important right now, because once Pluto goes into Aquarius, just like how Pluto Libras had to carry everyone through Pluto Capricorn, they're passing the torch to Pluto Scorpio. And that's that precipice to where we're bringing this great transformation, and it's going to pave the way for the new generation, just like Jiraiya and Kakashi paved the way for Naruto and Boruto. I don't know what else to say. Shit is real, man. And so I want to kind of talk a little bit more about this Endgame mechanic, because that's where we're headed into. But the most exciting part of this is you're so fucking amazing. I don't want it to sound like I'm flattering you. Like we are so freaking incredible, and this extraordinary evolution is hitting you all at once, like a Doctor Strange who just got expelled out of his body by the Ancient One. That's how this Pisces season is hitting you. Mind-blowing synchronicities, synchronization, and signs that make sense of stuff you've been wanting to know forever. It's all coming together because we are finally at the end. Okay? We're coming into the beginning of the end of all things. So I can't emphasize enough. Right now, the moon is in Taurus. As we move forward, right, and we see the moon now start to square Saturn, one of the most critical elements of this activation transit is the final hours of course, moon in Taurus. Can I tell you something? Moon in Taurus is the anchor. Once the moon goes into Gemini and then it begins to sextile Jupiter, everything is going to go so fast, like Doctor Strange astral projecting and starting to understand the truth of the metaphysical. That's the moon in Gemini. It is an intellectual understanding of unseen dynamics and metaphysical principles and mechanics that help you necessarily understand how to integrate unseen magical abilities into seen techniques. I'm going to say it again. It is the intellectual understanding of unseen dynamics and metaphysical principles, bearing in mind extra dimensional mechanics, taking everything you've never seen and helping you understand what it actually is. This is your seeds you planted growing out the ground. And once that happens, there's no turning back. So the most important part right now is this anchor where the moon in Taurus is making sure that everything you're thinking, feeling, seeing, and making sense of is what you really want. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your last chance to decide what the new story is, because Aries is the debut. And so before we begin, Pisces is the editing process. You have to revise the old story. What are you editing? It doesn't matter if you've been plagued with this or that. It doesn't matter if you're in a situation where you seemingly are losing everything. You must persist in your imagination. Faith is like a small little mustard seed, and you have planted this mustard seed. Please do not be ye of little faith. You want to pour on this active excitement because we're literally on the precipice with the moon that's going to be trining Pluto, squaring Saturn, and sextiling Neptune. What you want to embrace here is this is right before you get ready to go on sale. Because once we start to get to the full moon from Moon Gemini, Moon Virgo, you're going to see this rapidly manifest. Because now let me break down subatomically what you may not have realized. Right now, your body is with your brain and antenna shifting you. If you knew that every thought, and some of you feel this is why some of you feel the ding. If you knew that every thought you have tunes you into a frequency of a dimension, your thoughts, your key is key. Your vibration is the key in order to open the door into a dimension. But you cannot see the veil. So if your third eye was open and you can see that within milliseconds, within the process of 1 second, you're constantly shifting dimensions, you would literally see your frequency is like a radio broadband. And when you meditate or when you're focused and you're of one mind and you bring everything towards what you want, of course, to tune into Neptune, tune into ruler Pisces, Neptune, tune into imagination, astral realm, tune into, boom, that's what happens. The reason why manifestation or this whole process of creating your reality gets muddled is because you have subconscious thoughts that are tuning into here while you're consciously trying to tune into here, and you have to impress upon your subconscious the frequency you want to tune into. And this is so, once again, very important, because as you face these fears, as you face stepping into what you want at this subatomic level, the moment you decide what experience you want to step into, you are moving and sailing towards that direction. And side, homicide, suicide, double homicide, decide. You are literally killing every other multi-dimensional possibility so that you can move forward and it can all collapse out of an uncertainty principle into this law of one and the principle of consciousness. I made up that principle of consciousness, but I didn't make it up because it's always existed. And this is where you move forward into, is you take your power back. And if you knew that every single thought that you have towards this end is, of course, maintaining this, the moment you see that first synchronicity, that's the sign you pass on the road, like you're here, you're in it, but you have to maintain it so that you don't waver back, wave into particle. You cannot see the atoms because they're so subatomic. But once you, at a quantum mechanic level, you are not separate from your desire at all. At a cellular, this science is proven. Someone won a Nobel Peace Prize for this, for proving that the universe is not local. You're not, this is not here. This isn't even physical. It's just energy condensed. It's an illusion. This is why Virgo equals Pisces. Real life is an illusion. It's a persistent illusion that a goddess is dreaming. And so you want to be very mindful, because this experience is being projected from a non-local space. You are a projection of your higher self, kind of like a video game playing you as an avatar. And so knowing that relative to the quantum entanglement that connects every single atom, proven by theories of non-locality, you are not separate from anything you desire. The moment you invest and pay attention, the reason why corporations pay billions of dollars to advertise to you is so you can pay them attention. And from your attention and focus, that's where the energy goes. And then they can convince you to pay them all sorts of shit. But it's the attention, that's your currency. When you pay this experience, your attention, and you focus and you keep paying that element of your energetic currency, you are now taking this uncertainty principle and through quantum superposition, you are collapsing that reality you want. And then you are maintaining it, not by trying to do it. You just decide that it's there before you see it, because this is a subatomic process that is shifting you into this version of reality where you could experience Mandela effects that won't make sense to other people, but will make sense to you. Deja vus, you know what I mean? Reality is subjective in that sense versus objective things like air, where we all breathe and you don't have to argue about that. But what's important is maintaining this practice of focus, whether through chants, meditation, you just want to stay in the state. Okay. Attention and focus collapses the wave function. And so we have now reached this state like a plant seed growing through the dirt, that once the moon goes into Gemini and you start to see it break through the ground, you are now seeing and experiencing rather elements of what you've been focusing on come to fruition. We're here. And this is why that square is important, because this is going to anchor. You're going to start to feel this very real as a be careful what you wish for. Moon in Taurus and Tarot is literally the be careful what you wish for card, because you're going to get it. And there's the excitement of your imagination. And then there's what it really is. That's Virgo versus Pisces. Okay. And so it's giving you a sneak peek of what it's about to be. So once, of course, the moon goes into Gemini, and effectively we have this exact quarter square at 8 degrees. You heard me? You heard me? One, this is going to be within 10 degrees of Mars. So you're going to understand how to move forward. Two, this is going to be sextile all the Aries. So you're going to understand how to communicate this evolution of who you are. It's going to be a very crucial period. You have just evolved again through a series of major evolutions. And so it's like you're stepping into new clothes, a new version of yourself. And it's like, how do I think about this? Now you know how to think about this. Oh, this is who I am now. You're coming into the stats. Moon in Gemini is like playing a video game, and you're gaining information about stats, about people and things. And what's also key here is it's the first quarter square. This is where everything begins to change post new moon seeds. To be honest, this is where this shit gets fun, because we have the next be, do, have. Moon in Cancer, the fifth house of every transit, is going to be the most fun, because relative to breaking through this activation, you need to the fifth house transit is rubbing your foot on the gas to see how fast your car can go. And then you go into the sixth house and you begin to balance the max speed into one that's in a speed limit. But you have to see how talented you can be, how far you can go before you can actually now begin to balance it. You have to express your full talents of imagination by fully feeling it as if you're really there. That's the secret. So with that being said, you're going to understand the hidden truth, the hidden magic word that you need to think and say to now continue to blossom this. Because what happens once the seed breaks through the ground? Now the way you plant the plant subtly changes. You have to account for how much sunlight it gets, how you want to grow it. See, the activation is what you want to plant. The integration is how you want to grow this. I really appreciate the support, y'all. Us kind of coming together to do this is a magical ritual in and of itself. So everything you're subconsciously intending is what's manifesting now more than ever too. And so the first B is with the new moon in Pisces, I'm being this unicorn. Moon in Aries, I'm taking action as a unicorn. And now moon in Taurus, I'm coming into the benefits of people walking up to me and giving me unicorn tickets. And I didn't even tell them I was a unicorn, but they gave me a ticket and there's a unicorn on the ticket, right? Cool. Now, the moon in Gemini is the next state of being. We're understanding the hidden truth of everything we're manifesting, because your subconscious has an intelligence of its own. And so now you're going to come into hidden insight into the deeper meaning of what you've been imagining. And this is going to see like, whoa, there's so much more than I had initially thought. And this is going to help you with this hidden understanding and truth be more of what you want to manifest. It's an extension of the new moon, where, of course, the purpose of the square is to adjust things so things don't stay stagnant. So you imagined this, but now the moon in Gemini is okay. What is the name? Let me understand the name of myself as a unicorn, because the activation was I'm a unicorn. But now the moon in Gemini is like, whoa, I just understood this hidden truth in context with my personal reality. That's what's going to make it magic. You can't deny it. It's in context with what you're going through. So it's not like you're just making it up. It's like, wow, I just realized I'm the hidden unicorn, marvelous fartsy. And I have marvelous farts. And I always knew that every time I farted, it was magical. But I didn't know that that was my actual unicorn name. And now my understanding of just being a unicorn, which was abstract in Pisces, is now being understood as the challenge is, okay, this is the type of unicorn I am. And it's challenging me to hold true to what I believe about myself, because you're going to understand that the truth about what you believe is subtly different. So now you have to adjust what you believe so that it can be in line with what you're going to receive as true about your belief. So you can believe that, oh, there's 50,000 unicorns out in the world. And then the moon in Gemini is going to be like, hey, actually, there's 50 unicorns. So you have to adjust this belief to account for the fact in Virgo and the truth in Gemini that there's just 50. So now the plan you wanted to make with 50,000 unicorns, now you're fine tuning this. And it's like, okay, we can work with 50 then. You see how the intention is still there, but now we're having to adjust it with what's true. That's what's going to apply with you. You right now with the moon in Taurus, you are manifesting supernatural abilities that are abstract, but they're still expressing. Now, the moon in Gemini is going to help you understand how to think about it, what to think about it, what's true about it, so that you can fine tune your abilities and you're taking away excess superfluous movements so that you perfect this. And the reason why this is key is with the moon so close to Mars, that's going to be sextiling Venus. This is literally an understanding of a boost that fills you with confidence and is going to be a game changer. This is one of the 4 game changers: the new moon in Pisces, the first quarter square in Gemini, full moon Virgo, and that third quarter square in Sagittarius is going to be the conclusion post-harvest, where your dream you see fully. It's like, this is the dream, I see it. And we're going to take that vision of you seeing the dream and you're going to take that in the Aries season in the Endgame. So let's actually use Doctor Strange as the movie. The new moon to this first quarter square is him coming into the car accident and him finally making it to Kamertage. All right. By the time the moon is in Taurus, right, he's finally made it to Kamertage. Third house axis of learning is where he finally starts to begin to learn magic, right? Then the first quarter square from the moon in Gemini to the full moon in Virgo is the montage that leads to the conflict. It's where the conflict, that leads to the climax. The conflict has already been established, but it kicks off, let's say it's an initial incident that pushes the plot forward. And this is the part of Doctor Strange where he's taking what he learned, right? And he's actively having to apply it to the conflict. He's actively having to fight the enemy magicians that take everything he learned real time and is now helping him become, because remember throughout the movie, he started to perfect his craft. That's moon in Gemini to moon in Virgo. Doctor Strange started to understand elements of what he was stepping into that were different from what the Ancient One knew and what other characters knew. Then the full moon is going to be that final boss battle with fucking Dormammu. And this is where he harvests the fruit of everything he learned where he has no choice but to settle this or the whole world is doomed. And then the moon in Sagittarius is the end of the movie where he's finally beat Dormammu and he is now officially the Sorcerer Supreme. The 8th house with the moon in Libra is probably where the Ancient One dies of death. Then he ascends and then he beats Dormammu. Okay, he ascends through Scorpio and then at the end, you see the victory. Then we conclude into the new moon in Aries, where now he's Sorcerer Supreme. We end that old movie. Boom, Aries season, Endgame. And now Doctor Strange is with the superhero team, Aries sextile Pluto and Aquarius. Let's go, son. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, this shit is lit. You're literally around. Like, dude, Aries season's about to come up. And you about to be like, are you ready? Like, you're the team, the squad is just gonna come together. The squad, once we come into that moon in Aquarius, something about the squad is just gonna come in. You remember, like when you watch the Marvel movies, and I hate that I'm using Marvel so extensively, but you know when you watch the Marvel movies and freaking there's the end scene credits, that's the balsamic phase. That's the balsamic phase, the end scene credits, where it's like, hey, I know you just had your movie, but yeah, there's a whole, it's connected to a wider plot that's beyond you. That's the balsamic. Let's go. Let's get it. And then I swear to God, Aries season is going to be so fucking lit because there's going to be Sun, Moon, Venus, Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Chiron, possibly Mercury. You're starting Aries season off connecting with the gang. Now you've awakened your superpowers. You had your personal movie. Now you're connected into a plot that connects you into a whole team. And by the time Aries season is finished, you know who you are in connection with a superhero team. And both of you and all of you are having to band together to stop the end of the world or to facilitate the end of the world. It depends on what side you're on. It's a literal RPG. Squad about to hit a lick. That's how you're kicking Aries season off, with a goddamn bang. People with their mastered superpowers are pulling up on you. You're pulling up on them. You're like, let's go. Let's go. And and everything is lined up and it's battle time. Just like how Infinity Club started off with a banger. Infinity Club literally started off with Thor getting the shit wrecked and Hulk. And the Hulk, seriously, that's the beginning of Aries season. 0 degrees Aries, the balsamic phase in Pisces is Thanos laying the smack down. Then we have the new moon in Aries. Boom, the movie starts. The Hulk comes into the fucking Doctor Strange Academy. Aliens instantly invade. Aliens instantly invade. Iron Man puts on his suit, and it's a whole war. Spider-Man makes it yes. Fate is literally guiding people from all across the world to converge with you like you're a Power Ranger. And that's what Pisces season is going to teach you. Remember the interconnectivity of the interrelated whole. As you come into this realization, the end of Pisces season is going to be enlightening you to people who you've known for the past 5 years who are meant to be the rest of your life. Right now, the universe just kept them sick. There's certain people who you just started talking to, who you're going to meet in 2 weeks, who you've known for the past 2 years. This is specifically related to 2019, 2020, once the North Node Gemini portal came through. But I mean, this could also have been through the past 10 years. They're going to be people from your childhood that just come back around and they're gang now. Like it's every one of us had to do our own solo missions. We had to it's like, are you a main character, a side character? Like everyone had to come unto their own. And now that you have developed your own IP, boom. That's it. It's going to be so weird because there's certain people in your life who might be significant, but there's certain people in life you don't even know. You're about to know them, For certain people, it's people who you are attracted to, and like you kept on seeing signs and synchronicities about them. You kept on seeing profound signs, but you tried to move forward with them. Nothing worked. Nothing's been working. And then Aries season comes and the Pisces season comes. Boom! They just come in your life like bam! Bam! And now it all makes sense why you couldn't meet them before and why now is the time. How you had to learn more lessons, how they had to return their power, and they had to go through lessons so that both of you can be, all of you, it's more than just two people, all of you can be who you're meant to be. Nothing was random. Some of you are racking your heads on why you had experiences. It's all coming together. We are the revolution that these dark forces couldn't have never anticipated, because you're not a coward. And when it comes time to stand up against false oppression and everybody else is afraid because of what they're going to lose, you're not going to be afraid. And you're going to lead the charge just by being yourself, not by picking up guns and shooting and killing people, not by picking up signs to protests to corporations that don't have a conscience, by uncompromisingly being yourself and not letting any external authority tell you what to do. That is going to be the revolution. People are going to watch what you do and they're going to see, well, if this person is doing this, why am I listening to this oppression? That's why they're afraid of you. The power of one person can change the entire world. And so remember, you are born perfect and you are perfect. And the only thing that's a sin, okay, is being out of alignment to who you've always been. Bars. The invention of the Roman Catholic invention of, in order to gain money, they had to lie to you so that, oh no, you were born a sinner. So actually you have to pay us so that you can go to heaven. That was never even in the Bible. You were born perfect. Before this shit got edited and multiple texts kind of changed the narrative, you was inverted so that you were seen as a sinner, but you were born perfect. The only thing that's wrong, anytime you do something wrong, that's not good. That means it's not of God. That means it's not of you. Okay? You can be tempted to come out of alignment, anything that's without God. So anything that you do that's out of the alignment of the God within or God, that's a sin. It's away from your true nature. Your true nature isn't some sinner. You were created by God. You're perfect. That's it. That's the secret. And so every time you go out of alignment with who you are, who you were born to be, God's plan for you, when you go out of alignment of God's plan for you, who you were destined to be, that's a sin. It's not about doing bad things. The bad thing is not being true to yourself. If you're not true to yourself, how can you be what God made you who you are? So you're the most important part of this revolution. That's why the war is on your identity and your children. Because if your children don't know how to identify themselves, then they can basically be convinced to do anything. But if your children know who they are, no one can shake them. And these children are the new gods of the next world. And that's why the war is being fought over them, because whoever influences them towards whatever direction wins. And that's what's happening over this past 2 years. So look at the entertainment. Look at what's being pushed at these children. Look at what these children are oversaturated on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, mainstream television and news to just basically infiltrate their subconscious through demonic influence. It is up to us to fight. Okay, there's a reason why there's this influx of homeschooling children, because we not fucking playing anymore. It is up to you to fight so that you can play your part and lead by example and be the shining example of what these children need to see. There's no amount of forcing our philosophy on these kids that will work. They have to see us live it. They have to see us step up to these false authorities and not comply and be in alignment with truth. And that's exactly what we here to do. You are chosen. That's why you're here. You would not be here if you were not chosen by God. Congratulations. You chose yourself. And what's very, very, very important about this is so much of this that you walked by faith in order to step into is now breaking through the ground, and you're seeing more evidence of than ever. Okay. And thankfully, once we move forward into this conflict growing part, once again, with the moon in Gemini coming into Cancer, the initial sense with the moon square Neptune is the intellectual changing of your mind and understanding what about your mind is changing to understand metaphysical principles. This is like being able to, for the first time, see or sense ghosts. The moon in Gemini is helping you intellectually understand fourth house to Pisces, unseen influences about your imagination that are there in your own unique way, that you're not going to read from a book, that you're not going to read from an expert or textbook, that comes from within you. And you will be able to prove contextually too. Take a scientific method approach to this so that you don't get caught in delusion. But this isn't bound by logic. So if you want to be delusional, go fucking for it. We played Sammy yesterday. You already know what she taught us. So personally, once we step into that moon Neptune, it's kind of like using laughing gas to facilitate a change in consciousness. Do you understand how the moon in Gemini square Pisces is an intellect? You're understanding the knowledge of what's happening, because when it's in Sagittarius, you will see it. So it's like when the moon's in Gemini, it's like, wait a minute, this was here and now it's here. Now you're understanding intellectually there's something that changed. It's not just in your head. Like, you're starting to understand the logic of, by process of elimination, everything you can see, what you can't see influencing your reality. And it's going to be as clear as day. And Carrie, thank you for your Venmo. All right. Lightworker Enterprises, I definitely got your Venmo. I'm definitely going to do your charts first. For anyone who wants a live interpretation of Pisces, I'm definitely going to go in. 4D is literally delusional. You have to be to even experience it, because your 3D mind can only process 3D. When you put a higher quality of anything on a processor that can't process it, it can't compute. So when you go into the fourth, which is now all of time outside the panoramic view of your 3D, and then the 5D, which is every single experience that you can imagine at once, this is meant to frustrate your critical mind, because you want it to be frustrated, because it's supposed to be a calculator for the 3D. Please click the description box below and you will be able to join the queue. $40 minimum. You can pay Cash App, PayPal. It is what it is. But personally, once again, this is really inspiring you to put yourself in a position to not only remember who you are, and not only to believe it, and not only to allow everything to shift, but to now align yourself with every multidimensional aspect of who you've always been. And that's what this moon in Gemini is going to put you in this mirroring portal through, so you can understand the truth of how to align trine Saturn. And then once we step into the moon in Cancer, this is putting you in a position to now understand the full expression of your imagination through your feelings. You're going to fully feel like you're in it, because now you understand the truth of this belief. This is where now, moving forward from the moon in Gemini, your understanding of the supernatural evolution of your being is hyper manifesting quicker than your mind's ability to sabotage. And this is where, if you stay true to the activation of who you know yourself to be, when all this starts to happen, you're not going to lose confidence. Let me give you an example. From, of course, last week to now, this is like, I'm the sexiest man alive. Like, oh my goodness, like, women just flock to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just so attracted to me, and it is what it is. Like, I get every experience that I want. This is going to be available for Infinity Club members. So anyone who's Infinity Club, I will post the replay to the community tab. But yes, I'm just so irresistible. It's not even a joke. It's not even a game. Like, I can't even understand how you just don't know how sexy I am, right? So then, you're talking all this shit. You think you really believe this about yourself, And the universe is like, I hope this person really believes this, because the universe is looking at your manifestation and you went in. It's like, yo, I hope this person can handle what they're manifesting, because it looks like to them, they're just saying it. To you, it should feel like you're just saying it. But in the 5D, you're creating it, right? Cool. Then we have the moon in Gemini. And from moon in Gemini to moon in Cancer, boom, now you're flooded with DM requests and everyone's coming up to you. And it's just like hitting you. Just like that. And it's going to feel like it's coming out of thin air, but it didn't. You planted the seeds for it. So it's not just coming out of thin air. This is everything. Whatever you're doing right now is working. If you're doubting, it's working. If you're believing, it's working. That's the thing. So once this starts to hyper accelerate really goddamn quickly, okay, I hope you're not talking about the movie, the Netflix movie. But like once this starts to manifest, what you're going to be tested on instantly with the moon opposition to Pluto, moon opposition of Leo to Aquarius, and the moon opposition of Virgo to Neptune is, can you handle everything you just said? Once this starts to come in, are you going to be like, whoa, I'm not secure enough to handle this. Whoa, I'm nervous. Like, whoa, I can't believe this person would actually be talking to me. Weren't you talking all this shit before though? Like, please, everyone's attracted to me. You must keep that. Listen, moon in Taurus right now is saying, I hope you keep that same energy. Okay, because you are also putting energy out there towards people who are trying to sabotage your manifestations. And that moon in Aries made some of you pretty militant. I want you to comment an exclamation mark emoji if any time during this past week we just finished, you felt yourself going off at the collective, going off like, nah, you ain't shit. I know what I'm doing. Like in whatever way you did, like you were in some way in accepting your beliefs, you had to go against opposing beliefs. Well, I'm just going to tell you, moon in Gemini to moon in Virgo, that collective force will materialize itself and come in your face and be like, oh, word. And for those of you who commented an exclamation mark, you're going to keep that same energy. And in their face, you're going to be like, word. Yes, I said what I said, son. And you can get it in person too. This is literally what you were waiting for. This is just like Doctor Strange, where I'm saying the initial conflict kicks in route to the climax. We're no longer learning anymore. We're literally stepping into this. You're keeping that same energy. You're like, I knew it. See, I'm sexy AF. See, it's already coming in. I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. I always believed it. And it's going to be a challenge to integrate because you're growing in these new clothes. And it's okay if you feel nervous stepping into it, where some of you are just going to feel like this is your birthright. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. And that moon in Cancer is really important because once we have that trine to Neptune, you're going to be feeling this alignment of synchronicities and signs that you have been feeling powerfully your whole life. But now the ninth house element of the sun in Pisces is showing you the highest meaning of why you felt these signs you have always felt. And this is a crucial juxtaposition into the Disney axis of the Leo Pisces. To me, Leo Pisces energy is literally the Disney lifestyle. And you're feeling into the heart of being aware of this divinity. And this is where you're charging the energy of the courage and confidence to live the lifestyle you have always dreamed. And so if you think about now with the moon in Taurus that is grounding this natural receptivity to the attitude of your own divinity, this is going to now create the behavior that integrates what you are thinking now through your five senses. What's grounded and natural here in a week will be very passionate. You'll be understanding the passion needed to fuel the integration of this belief. And before the full moon, this is a very pivotal, critical juncture. Opposition to Saturn, square Uranus, that with this quincunx is helping you understand how to behave and feel to harness all the energy to support this dream. And the opposition to Saturn and the square to Uranus are outside influences that test your resolve so that instead of wavering, you strengthen your way into this completion that facilitates the full moon. Okay. And so this full moon is very important because relative to this full moon, all right, this is what completes the process of everything you've been harvesting. So certain things to keep in mind. Once we have this full moon in Virgo, one, Saturn is in Pisces, and we begin the beginning of the end of the world. The next thing we want to see is this is going to square Mars in Gemini, and it's going to oppose Neptune. So when the moon was in Gemini, right, the moon being in Gemini is going to help us understand how to act off on our thoughts. And it's going to develop the understanding of your magical abilities as you're taking the abilities you're manifesting now. Right now with the moon in Taurus, by the time the moon is out in Taurus, you are manifesting a magical ability tied to your belief that you can use over and over. And then once we're stepping into next week, you're mastering this magical ability. You're understanding how to experience this magical ability so that by the time it's in Virgo, are you ready? You will have harvested a technique with which you can use this magic ability over and over, and you will not miss. And so the moon in Gemini on Mars is the breakthrough of this, where you're starting to understand, oh, when I did this, this happened. Oh my God, when I thought about my friend, they called me. Okay, let me do it again. They're calling me again. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought this was just a coincidence my whole life. And it's not that it was a coincidence. It's that you had neural pathways that were blocked. And since then, with now changing your beliefs, the pipeline is smooth, baby. And so you do it again. Okay, I just did it 2 times in a row, but that was just a coincidence. I'm going to think about someone completely different who's they blocked me. They never want anything to do with me. Let me think about them. Oh, I knew it was a coincidence. Oh my God, they're calling me. Wow, what? And boom, that's moon in Gemini. And now moon in Cancer, you're experiencing how far you can take this. It's like, okay, what if this person, oh my God, this person's famous. Wow, now you feel your power coming back. And by the time the moon is in Leo, you know what? I think I want this person to call me. What's that, man? And you talk to them, dude, I was just thinking about you. And you're just going to be like, I know. That's moon in Leo. It's like, now you want to, and then now the moon's in Virgo, and now it's complete. Now you're in a crisis situation, the final boss battle, and you're like, damn, hold on, I need a screwdriver. And only Charles has a screwdriver. Hold on. Charles, can I use your screwdriver? Now it's fully functional. Okay. And that's in a short week from now. I want to welcome T to the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. Welcome. So this should have you excited as fuck right now, because this full moon is not necessarily just harvesting these abilities. These are abilities you're harvesting since Gemini season, Magic School, Virgo season, the Mastery, Sagittarius season, the Ascension and Synchronization, and Pisces season, the Transcendence. This is a Virgo that's opposite Neptune, square that. So while you are doing that, now once moon is squaring Virgo, you are understanding the literal details of how to use your magic abilities and how to take action and seeing the real nature of these dreams. Okay, Julius, welcome to the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. Welcome to the gang. All right. So this is really, really important, because everything coming up into the full moon is you 100% planting these seeds and harvesting these seeds. This is the completion. From moon in Virgo to moon in Sagittarius, you're going to the field and you're harvesting and reaping the crops. So by the time we're in Sagittarius, you're looking and you're like, this is everything I harvested. This is the full total of my magical abilities. And this is everything I can do with my magical techniques. So from moon in Virgo to moon in Sag, by moon in Virgo, what you believed you can do, now you're experiencing. but there's a causality and consistency. Virgo is consistency and repetition. And so Moon in Sag, completion 10th house, is what is the highest feat you can perform with this? If the 5th house in Cancer is the highest you can rev your car, then the 9th house ascension is what can you do at this top speed and the fullness of your talents. Boop, that breaks into the 10th house. And it's like, wow, with my magical ability to summon anyone by call, I was able to amass an army of 1,000 people just by thinking of them. Come to this place at 5 o'clock. Come to this place at 5 o'clock. And I try to get as much people, and this was the most people that I can get. That 10th house vision is important because that's what you're going to look at when Endgame begins. And you're going to realize, relative scientifically to this last experiment, we were able to get like 500 people. And I know that once Endgame begins, I can get 500 people in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, oh, this is so fucking dope. This is so fucking dope. But this is also the beginning of the final boss battle. And so you must now understand the harvesting of this perspective and belief, where with the moon in Virgo, moon in Gemini, you understand the truth of your belief. You understood that you were the mystical farter. You were the unicorn of mystical farts. And now the moon in Virgo is showing you how really you're the unicorn of mystical farts. How every time you fart, someone's wish comes true. It's like, oh, you have a lot on your mind, don't you? I need you to make a wish. I need you to hold my hand, make a wish. Did you make the wish? Oh, yes. Oh. Ew, did you just fart in front of me? Hold on. Oh my God, this is what I just wished for. How did you do that? And now you understand your place in society as a magical farter. And now your farts are on a whole nother level than just the average human fart. Because you're not a fucking human. You're a unicorn. That is a magical, mystical farter. And now, and see, Pisces is changing the meaning of things to you every season. Now the meaning of farting is completely changed. You're not just some average farter. And you've mastered your farts, because while you were practicing, sometimes you would shart yourself. But now by the moon in Virgo, you've perfected your ability. Like from moon in Gemini, you realize I'm a mystical farter. But you know, you kind of went a little bit overboard and you sharted yourself once. And it did make a big wish, but you soiled your pants. But now the moon's in Virgo and you can fart perfectly. You've practiced the art of farting. And now you can even do a rainbow fart and you don't have issues sharting anymore. It's the Gemini of me. This is not a joke. I don't know why you guys are lying. Why are you guys laughing? I'm talking about magical farts. This is the most magical thing ever. Imagine your own flatulence, your burps and your farts just change your whole life. And now, by the time we step into the moon in Sag and the moon in Capricorn of the 11th house of rewards from careers, now you have testimonials. Hi, my name is Ruby, and I lived such a hard life, and then I met this magical unicorn, and he farted, and he changed my life. Thank you so much for teaching me the power of one fart. Thank you. Hi, my name is Tom, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very skeptical at first. I'm like, how can someone farting change my life? And then he farted. I'm not gonna lie, it stank a little bit, but my wish came true immediately. Hi, my name is Lisa Jenkins, and I'm telling you, I couldn't really even believe that I didn't even believe in unicorns. He told me he was a unicorn. I thought he was crazy, and then he farted, and then my wish came true. And I was like, he is a unicorn. And that's it. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And yeah, people are going to laugh at you. He thinks his farts can change the world. He thinks his farts can change the world, but you're going to show them. You're not just an ordinary farter. You're not just an ordinary gas passer. Okay. I'm so mad y'all laughing. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. I have to use this example. Because as crazy as you think that example is, that I want you to, what did you feel when I said that you're manifesting God farts? That's what you're going to feel the full moon in Virgo. So I like to use that example because as strange as you think that is, that's what you're going to feel. That's what you're going to feel with your ability. You're going to be like, whoa, that's the moon opposite Neptune. It's an understanding of the real social analytical context that you can experience with your 5 physical senses of metaphysical unseen principles and mechanics that blow your fucking mind with Mars and Gemini because of how supernatural it really is. And so from the pipeline, from the full moon in Virgo, let's go back to the Doctor Strange analogy. You're fighting Dormammu. You're coming into this final boss battle. Boom. We step into the moon in Libra, where you're now understanding the transformation of your belief because you are actively expressing the value of this Aries of who you knew yourself to be socially. So when the moon was in Aries, after I decided I'm a unicorn, I was like, okay, obviously I'm a powerful unicorn. And this is the value I have of a unicorn. Before it was in Gemini, I knew that I can change people's lives. Then it went into Gemini, and I understood the truth of my changing lives has to do with my flatulence. Now with the moon in Libra, I'm taking this value of myself and I'm dealing with other people socially. This is where my transformation of my belief as a unicorn breaks through because now I farted and I changed your life. It's like now, before I was just in moon and Aries activating the seed, like I'm a unicorn, I'm a unicorn. Post full moon in Libra, you're with other people socially, like, hey, I'm a unicorn. Bye. And they're like, ew, why did he? Oh my God, my life is changing. This is it. Now the way you believe in your beliefs completely transform in the context of social activity. And this is the dopest part, because the moon in Scorpio is going to ascend to the higher light, the occult hidden understanding of everything by this point you have believed. And coming through the dark, and it's very important because the full moon, the moon in Cancer you felt with Neptune is now going to heighten with Scorpio. And this is where this extreme understanding of the wisdom of this belief levels up this occult. That's why the 9th house Scorpio is, thank you guys, I really appreciate that. The 9th house Scorpio is very, 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 very slept on because it's being able to see into the hidden with this awareness of the unseen. Sun in Pisces is extra dimensional perception or extrasensory perception, ESP. And by the time the moon goes, the opposition to Taurus, by the way, is taking the abilities you're manifesting now and you're able to show it to others. Now, by the time the moon is in Scorpio, you're able to teach people, yeah, you know, all I have to do is just fart slightly and just set the intention. That's how I did it. And I change other people's lives. You're teaching people. Boom. Then, of course, but now this is the climax of the final boss battle. Boom. Now we come into the conclusion. And the moon in Sagittarius, I feel, is going to be one of the most important, if not the most important transit here. Because the last time we had the moon in Sagittarius was a 27-degree Cazimi with Saturn. And this is what set into play this brand new karmic cycle that's going to usher in the beginning of the end of the world. And so by the time we come into this place where Saturn is in Pisces, starting the beginning of the end of the world, and the sun is on Neptune, this is the completion to where now you're looking around you. You know, Doctor Strange has become the Sorcerer Supreme. He's beaten Dormammu. You're looking around you and you're like, wow, I saved all these people's lives just by farting. Wow, I see. Moon and Sag, you're understanding the sight, the vision. I see. I'm a god level farter. I used my magical ability to come into the actualization of my vision. I knew it. Okay. And that's what's going to lead into the moon in Capricorn. And the moon in Capricorn is giving you the rewards of this completion. And what's very important is Sun on Neptune, square Sagittarius, is seeing the supernatural. I'm going to say this again. Sun conjunct Neptune and motherfucking Mercury is your brain being able to process the supernatural understanding of the awakening of power. Do you see this aspect right here? This is fucking crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Mark the 17th of March on your goddamn calendars, because the square of the sun to Mars is where now the way you take action is as so. Before, right now, you're Doctor Strange that's learning how to use magic. Once we have that square, you're the Sorcerer Supreme. So you've mastered how to use your abilities, and you're moving forward understanding this new. But listen. Mercury, Sun, Neptune, Pisces is one of the most divine supernatural transits we're having all year. It all starts in the beginning of the year, because the rest of the year is going to integrate all this major evolution we're activating now. So this is that weird part of these transits where all the major shit happens in winter and spring. And then summer and fall, we get to integrate and like make sense of it, and then back again. Dun, dun. Okay. And what's really key about this is with that triple conjunction, this is your brain starting a new cycle with Neptune in the third decan of the sun in Pisces, showing you into the unseen, and your brain being able to actually process what the fuck you're perceiving. And that square to Mars is understanding what to think about it. But the moon on Capricorn is this final awakening of power that you're going to complete, because the 11th house is your net pay or the gross pay, and the second house is the net pay. And so this 11th house is taking everything that you've harvested and you're divvying up. This is mine. This is mine. This is all that full power, so that you can see this crucial element is where you finally completed this transit, and you are more powerful than you have ever been in your entire life. I stamp that. I stand by that. 1 degree Saturn officially kicks this in. If you've ever played Ocarina of Time, this is where you pull the Master Sword, and then you come out, and now 7 years of time skipped, and there's zombies all around you. This is that final portal to where then we go into Aquarius, and you start saying, I knew it. This is where now in this balsamic phase, coming into the end of the cycle, we're coming into the end credit scene. And relative to this end credit scene, it's putting you in a position to see where everything fits in with this new end game. Okay? And you're starting to reevaluate. This is where, okay, now in the darkness, when the movie is finished, you see Nick Fury come through and be like, listen, we know that you're a God level farter. Jerry, come out here. I want to introduce you to Jerry. Jerry, show him. And Jerry lets out a belch, and then an earthquake happens. We want to introduce you to our superhero team, the Flatulence Gang. We were looking for a farter like you, and we think you can join us to change the world. To be continued. We got a farter. We got someone who burps. We got Miss Waterworks. She cries. And her tears can grow stuff. It's a whole gang. So you were being scouted this whole time. And then boom, you go into Aries season. And then they have the Hulk, the secret weapon. Every time he throws up, oh shit, fuck. Every time he throws up, he transforms into I'm sorry, this is childish. My bad. My Gemini showing. All right, so, yep. Yeah, it's unfortunate the scouting part is mad creepy. Yeah, we've been watching you this entire time. That shit going to be super creepy. You're right. Avengers. This sounds like the Garbage Pail Kids. It's a unique group of flatulent individuals that use their orifices to activate superpowers. If you want to use that movie premise and idea, just cut me 10%. I don't care. It is what it is. All right, or at least just credit me somehow. I don't even need the credit. I don't really care. So other than that, that's the Pisces season in a nutshell. And that is mainly the math to understand this. The sneak peek now is Aries season. I want you to see how Aries starts and the moon is on Neptune. Okay. Then Endgame starts. I want you to look at that. We have the new moon in Aries. And then after the new moon is in Aries, Pluto goes into Aquarius, square the moon, ladies and gentlemen. Square the goddamn moon. Welcome to the beginning of the end of the MFing world. You see that 0 degree square? That's the end game, baby. So like we don't miss a beat. Mars is going to be 29 degrees Gemini, and it's a rapski, son. And it's a goddamn rapskis. And it's a goddamn rapski. 0 degrees Cancer, 2 degrees Saturn, 0 degrees Aqua. We are now we're in this parabola. So there's this parabola, which is the old world. Then we have the new world. We're now finally in between coming out of the old world, but we're still in the new world, but we're still coming out the old world over the next 2 years. Which is my theory about that. There's going to be different. Some people will tell you we're already in the new world. Some people will tell you it's far from now. But I just want to give you an analogy because once we come here, this is the thing. From 2023 moving forward, every single day is spicy. It's going to be like 2020, how you were on the edge of your seats and like every single day of Aries season is going to be super spicy. Every single day of Aries season is going to be super spicy. It's going to lead you. And so listen, the only thing I have to say is, who are you with now? Before influxes of new characters come into your life and old past life soulmates and new soulmates come through, platonic or romantic, who has been revealed to you now? Everyone who you have ever seen a synchronicity or significant sign about will be a relevant character that you meet up with through fate and destiny in this next chapter. The reason why you haven't met them now is because they're meant to be a part of your new story. They're not meant to be a part of your old story. You've been trying to force them as a part of your old story. They're not part of your old story. They're part of this new version. And this is so exciting, because this is going to, throughout this Pisces season, make sense of why Gemini answers what, Virgo answers how, Sagittarius shows you what the truth means, and then, of course, Pisces answers why. Okay? And you're going to be feeling the interconnectivity of Pisces revealing that's what this is, that's what that is. That's what this means. That's why this happened. And it's going to make sense of friendships you've had for over 10 years and friendships you're just starting to make. Nothing is random. Every single person you met was for a reason. Okay. And this is very, very, very important. Certain acquaintances or certain people who personally you may feel you may have just known as an acquaintance or someone that's not necessarily that close to could be the closest person in your life. And you don't even know. You're just kind of like sending texts or pics here and there. So it's going to, and the way it's going to happen is just going to be like, it's going to be fate and destiny that brings you together. An actual action that, forces you to kind of confront whatever differences you have or connect whatever similar and get busy. Get busy. So I'm just really excited now that we've kind of broken down this element of, and for those of you who are sending Cash Apps and for those of you who are sending Venmos, please send your sun, moon, or rising or your chart. Okay, send me your actual chart or just the sun, moon, rising, so it can save me time by not having to pull it up. But yeah, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So before I do the live readings, that was the math. Now let's start channeling. I wanted to break down mathematically and scientifically. All right, Kabak 333. For those who have the Infinity Club, you will be able to access the replay. So I really do invite you. I am getting the PayPal. Thank you, Barbcat. I really do invite you. If you're not Infinity Club, please feel free to make the investment. You don't have to, but you will have access to every single perk, all the weekly horoscopes I do, all the monthly tribe reports. And then, of course, next week, we're going to do the cosmic energy tune-up and the healing invocation. You know, those are powerful, and this Pisces season is going to be the most magical one. That's an Infinity Club perk. So we'll all be able to watch that, but Infinity Club members see the replay. All right, shout out to Uranus. And other than that, of course, as we level up, we'll be able to go in more on the perks, and we'll be able to start to do giveaways and stuff like that. But other than that, it's channel time. And now I want to make sure that we're clear. Once again, shout out to you, Carrie. The whole notion of this element of crossing in between worlds. This is the final portal, because once we walk out this portal, Pluto's in Aquarius. Saturn is in Pisces, killing the old veil. And it's like cycles coming out of cycles. So we finished this one, now we finished this one, now we're in this third one, and then there's two more to go, 2024, 2025. And personally, this is the culmination. Son Goku, I fucking got you, B. You're a genius. We gonna do a pick a card. This personally is putting you in a position to realistically now tap into the full extent of your value and the full extent of your worth. And it's very important that you embrace the supernatural abilities that are leveling up through you, through this crucial point of max level up with this Jupiter and Aries crunch. Okay. Now, with that being said, now that you understand that you are awakening a very important sense of all the superpowers since 2010 that Pluto and Aquarius worked to awaken, and even before that, because it didn't just start then, but just relative to these recent cycles, it's important for you to understand the initiation of consciousness into the metaphysical aspects of your being that you never, ever once considered was a thing, because you were so distracted by 3D, but was always with you the whole time. The presence of angels, the presence of metaphysical beings, the presence of aspects of your imagination that exist beyond just your thoughts, because you've created them, and now Saturn will have you take responsibility for. And this is going to show how some of you are going to realize, hey, that one time you got angry and you imagined this, that's why this happened in the world 3 weeks later. You have to take responsibility for me, because you thought that was just a thought. You manifested this collective event. You're going to open up with this acceptance of your magical being, greater elements, as if you were just on the tip of the iceberg the whole time, and now you are diving deeper. In crossing through this final portal, once we step tomorrow into Moon and Gemini, this hyper acceleration is going to crescendo everything that you have always at a subatomic level been learning. So it's like, here's your conscious mind, which is the iceberg, and you've been learning like the lessons that you've been conscious of. But what you're not conscious of, because it's unconscious, that's why it's unconscious, is the past 20 years of your life, you've been doing all the major work here. And to you, it was nothing. These are subatomic autonervous processes. The act of digestion in your body was the most spiritual thing you were doing for like 17 years. It taking 20 to 40, 70% of your energy, like just simple basic acts that you wouldn't think are spiritual, but are super spiritual, down to what you're eating, and not to get in a philosophical debate about what's better to eat or not, but just the actual process of digestion. Cool. So like every now and then something from your subconscious will come up to your conscious. Ding! Synchronicity. And then your conscious mind is like, but your subconscious, synchronicity. And now coming out this portal, okay, all this hidden shit that you were unconscious of is like, boom! Oh, it's just exploding in your consciousness. Synchronicity, boom. And that is what is going to be responsible for driving a majority of consciousness in the collective psychotic. Spiritual awakenings induce psychosis because you're awakening to facets of your reality that you weren't necessarily conscious to. And if you don't have the proper shadow work and the work done on your soul, and you don't remember who you are, you're going to give in to fear and delusion. Whew. So I really hope that analogy worked with you, because your conscious was like this, and the subatomic part, subconscious processes just boom, and now your conscious is catching up with what your subconscious is doing, and you're quickening your vibration, and now you can actually perceive events at a slower level, even though it's happening, but it's not that it's going slower. You just process information so much more fucking quickly. Oh my God. Oh, I have to do this because that's what it's going to feel like. And you're taking your body in to vibrate so much more. I'm a unicorn. You're taking your body to vibrate so much more beyond your physical meat suit, because this is just a meat suit. Literally, your body is literally just a meat suit. Close your cranium, your brain. And yeah, the last thing I want to say is hold in your heart the highest vision of your dream. Now that we have activated this, I want you moving forward to just envision and keep on dreaming bigger, the highest state of your dream life. So feel your dream life, revise it, and be like, nope, we got to dream bigger, and just keep doing that for the rest of Pisces season. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to be uncompromisingly fish-tarded as much as you can be until we step into Aries. You're welcome to take this to the full moon in Pisces. And then once the full moon in Virgo. And then once the full moon is in Virgo, you can release it. And then you can just harvest everything you've experienced, maintain it, and bring it into Aries. And I will see you at the full moon. Okay. Well, I will see you, at the full moon in Pisces ceremony, but I will also see you in Aries season. When we meet again for the full moon in Pisces ceremony, which will be free for everybody, we are now going to diagnostic check. By this time, you will have broken through your magical abilities. That means this next week alone, you're coming into the most epic mastery and integration of supernatural abilities that's going to put together every breakthrough you've had over the past 3 years since 2020. Anyway, Aries, this is your 12th house, Aries rising, Aries sun, Aries moon. This 12th house aspect is putting you in a position to embrace the transcendence of your self-concept. So it's important that you really change your self-esteem by really believing in yourself more than ever. And we do have, of course, the Temperance card, which with the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter is literally in your sign of Aries. It's going to evolve you and balance it so that your evolution doesn't knock you off balance. You're leveling up so rapidly, and you're balancing that with your life and how you're able to put this into perspective. And then, of course, Taurus, this is bringing the dream team together. Pisces season is bringing the dream team, aligning you with other influences that vibrate at the level of unique genius that Uranus is awakening others through you with. Okay, don't sleep on Taurus, because Taurus is the genius right now. And a lot of things that Taurus are on, people are going to be following and copying later. All right. And of course, with Saturn coming out the 10th, this is solidifying elements of your career and transcending with Jupiter in the 12th. We do have, of course, once again, the Magician. So this is you understanding magical abilities to perfect your skills and communication. And we have the World, which is Saturn. And so this is you being endless forever. This is you tapping into total success and reaching a world or God level state of completion that has you graduate from what you've gone through. Gemini, this Pisces season is bringing your dream career and dream vocation into life after Jupiter has evolved this. And it's putting you in a position to actually change your beliefs around everything that is possible for you to accomplish. And so really live in the end state of what you want to achieve and everything that you want to enjoy as such. Okay. Of course, with Jupiter in the 11th, this is also expanding the circle of friends you're coming into too. And we have Justice, which is saying to maintain integrity in your dealings with others. And with the Fool card, with this foundation of you moving righteously, you can keep an open mind as you step into this blank slate, because you're getting ready, especially in your career, to move towards new take that leap of faith to move towards new ventures. Cancer, this is going to show you the unseen. This is why Cancer is psychic, because their ninth house of sight and God is the unseen sign Pisces. And so through your feelings, you can feel into the unseen, and Jupiter is expanding and evolving your career in the 10th. And so this is now transcending the philosophical approach towards this mastery of your magic and psychic power and abilities. And so we do have the world, Saturn, that's getting ready to come into your ninth and complete this philosophical approach by putting you in positions to learn higher education or learn much more occult themed or metaphysical themed science. And also is talking about the completion that you're coming into, because with the Empress, this is facilitating with Venus so much abundance. Venus, which is going through your 10th house, Cancer rising, Cancer sun, and putting you in a position to capitalize. Leo, you got Uranus in your 10th house, and this is opening up such unconventional windfalls of income, a platform with which you can now be the boss of your own career. But what boundaries are you drawing? Because with Pisces, the 8th house here can really bring trust issues to where you never really know who you're dealing with. And so you have to really maintain this integrity of focus so that you not only draw the right boundaries, but you transform your behavior through these lessons. The Magician, similar to Taurus, is you manifesting a special, unique ability to harness infinity. And with the world, just like Taurus, and I shuffled this, you and Taurus are coming into this completion and success that is taking this graduation of your consciousness and putting you at the pinnacle and at the top so that you can facilitate this graduation with and for others. Virgo, this is divine partnerships, especially Virgo risings, the dreamy element of relationships that were not necessarily stable, that Saturn is now preparing you for marriage, business partnerships, and other such serious partnerships, maybe even divorce for some of you. But this is raising the standards of your partnerships, and it's reminding you how to transcend this as Mars in your 10th house is moving you in the direction of the right career. We do have Justice, similar to Gemini, coming with the Fool. So I love how Taurus and Leo got the same cards, and Virgo and Gemini got the same cards. And I'm shuffling these things too. Like I put this in the middle. So that's kind of crazy how they're coming out together. You, just like Gemini, are coming into a brand new direction of how you embrace relationships. And Justice is to say, make sure you're on the same page with people so things don't get unnecessarily confusing. Libra, Pisces in your 6th house is having you live the dream life. You're meant to imagine your routine. And as you, with your hyper intelligent mind, are able to discern with Virgo in your 12th house, the actual details of how everything you're imagining is aligning with your day-to-day routine, it gives you a transcendent divine behavior to where you can literally imagine the life you want to live. And it is so badass. Jupiter is evolving your 7th house. And with Temperance, that's evolving and leveling up your partnerships with other people. This is having you maintain balance with your imagination. This is literally peace and balancing your lifestyle. But the moon card is Pisces. You having to be very tapped into your dreams and your intuition, because this is a very non-linear and irrational way of balancing your lifestyle through magic and the unseen elements that reveal themselves in plain sight. Scorpio, this is great creativity that is pushing you very powerfully to express yourself in a way that once again fully expresses your talents and fully immerses you in your imagination. And it, with Jupiter that's evolving what more you can do in your career or in your lifestyle and subsequently your career, Uranus is unconventionally manifesting partnerships that can take this dream element of your talents and incorporate them in your relationships with others. And we do have the Devil card, which is going to be you releasing unconscious habits so that in being able to conquer the sun, this puts you in a position, wow, that's dark, to actually and realistically step into the light. So once you conquer the darkness, you can step into the light. You're confronting shadow issues that's going to enable you to really enjoy the fun that comes with reviving your inner child, transcending your inner child. Sagittarius, when you go to sleep, that's your home, the dream realm. And so you're going to understand the change of belief of where you feel at home and what stimulates this inner world within you. And what's key here is Mars is going to translate this understanding towards who you can move forward with very assertively in relationships with Mars in your 7th. But Jupiter is evolving what more you can do creatively in your 5th. And we do have the Magician, just like Leo and Taurus had, coming with the Strength card, which are two of the cards with the infinity sign on it. And so this is very cool because you're maximizing the creativity of the infinite potential you can now step through limitlessly. So this is like you really tapping into everything you love doing and having the energy and strength to focus on that relative to magical abilities you manifest. Capricorn, this is developing divine abilities and skills. And this is like learning tarot for the first time or really extending more with Jupiter in your fourth moving. But what's going to be really important is that with Saturn going through your third, this is going to strengthen the authority of how these skills and abilities to imagine your immediate environment and attitude warp reality real time. And we do have this with the Emperor, Jupiter in your fourth, that is expanding more autonomy for the authority of you to feel comfortable being you anywhere. And we do have the World. The World has been coming up for Capricorn a lot because, of course, it's ruled by Saturn. But this is talking about ruling the world and establishing your authority in a real practical way that takes into account how you've graduated, but how you're getting ready to move forward more powerful than ever. Aquarius, this is going to manifest the dream. And as you manifest the dream, oh my gosh, I feel you. The communication difference between Virgo and Gemini is hilarious, but very revealing. The manifestation of the dream is going to transcend the value of how you can literally imagine things and manifest. Okay, as a Taurus rising, I can say things, second house Gemini, and they manifest. Aquarius is the highest level of this. They just imagine it, it's happening just like that because they know. And so with this knowledge, you're now customizing how much more powerfully with this expansion of where you direct your imagination with Jupiter in the third, the grounding of this with Uranus in the fourth. So we do have the High Priestess, trust your intuition, because with Judgment, you are awakening with Pluto. That's literally going to be in your sign, your highest purpose. And let your intuition guide you with revelations through synchronicities, what that is, because it's going to be beyond anything you thought possible. Because you're a celestial, alien, wizard, princess, king, queen. We do have, of course, the divine princess of the Zodiac, Pisces. This is the transcendence that post Jupiter evolving you is manifesting your worth with Jupiter in your second. And we do have the Emperor, Mr. Rengoku, with the Empress. This is the divine matrimony of masculine and feminine. And you're using this authority as a foundation to be plentiful in your harvest. Venus, of which is also in Aries. Okay. And so finally, the last card we have. Oops. We have the High Priestess and the Sun, the Moon and the Sun. So we had Emperor, Empress, and then the Moon and the Sun. These are both divine masculine and feminine infusions. As you tap within, this will help you know how to bathe in the light. And I love that. So we're going to do, of course, a pick a card reading. And this is going to be, we're going to pick from 1 to 3 piles. And the card you move forward with is the theme of victory for you and the nature of perhaps what your superpowers will produce. Okay. So we have pile 1, we have pile 2, and we have pile 3. So the card you pick is the theme that you want to align your imagination towards. And definitely what you'll be in a position. So basically, when I explain the meaning of the card, attach that to your envision, and you'll see it'll guide you through. It's also what you're going to manifest. It's the outcome for you in a sense too. So the underlying theme that we have here is temperance. You are bringing in between worlds elements of your subconscious into, of course, material reality. So practice good moderation with this and management, because you're bringing into greater balance everything. And this is the principle of alchemy. So you're going to be guided by angelic support to learn alchemy through what you're doing. Okay, pile 1. If you picked pile 1, we do have the Fool card. And so relative to the Fool card, Pisces season is saying hit the reset button. Forget everything you've learned because you're walking down a brand new path. You are the blank slate that is hit the reset button so that you can now discover something no one else has discovered. Pisces season is saying that your vision is so unreal, people can't even fathom how to make sense of it because you're the reason why it's going to be brought in. And so this might be difficult for some of you because you're bringing something into this world that's never been seen, whether it's new or not. And so you have to take that leap of faith to believe it, even if no one else believes it, because you're going to make it a thing. This is attached to abilities that have never been necessarily experienced before. And for some of you, you're a fail-safe contingency. So you are a part of a team where if everyone else were to die, you would awaken and activate so that you can reset it and bring them back to life. And so while that happened, you were not aware of this until everyone died, and now you're awakening this because you're here to hit the reset button, which I think will be a special message for some of you. Pile 2. And I'm getting that some people look at you like you're weird as fuck. And that's because they're weird as fuck. But they can't overlook their own prejudice and their inability to open their mind. So they just look at you like they're weird because they're stupid. So we do have the strength card. If you pick pile 2, you are meant to move towards the direction of your greatest passions, and you want to really focus on your sexual desires and really manage your lust. Pile 2, you're on fire. If you pick pile 2, everything that you're good at creatively, everything that you're passionate and creative about, focus on that because you're meant to really inspire people with this Leo energy and creativity. And this is going to really rev you up and make you realize that you're stronger than you can ever realize. People who pick pile 1 are geniuses and innovators. People who pick pile 2 are strong as fuck and can weather any situation. You have a durable body and you're putting yourself in a situation that where everyone else is worn out, you're the heart that keeps people going. And so really live in your passion and find every reason to be inspired. And finally, for pile 3, we do have the Zambara. Pile 3, you are here to claim authority and dominion. And so if you picked pile 3, you have to imagine yourself as the ruler of your reality. Okay, pile 1 is the innovator. Pile 2 is the not party starter, but the energetic strength. And pile 3 is the emperor. And so you are stepping into positions of power. You must not back down from your values and you must maintain your authority because this is stepping you into harnessing. So it's very important because your superpowers now, if you picked pile 1, you're manifesting a new superpower that's never existed. If you pick pile 2, you're manifesting unlimited energy to source this whole nature of the energy. And if you pick pile 3, you are establishing authority and power. It's different delineations of your energy. I actually picked pile 3. I'm not gonna lie. Do you offer teachings? Yes, I'm going to be creating online courses to hold y'all off before I make the real online course. But yeah, those are the 3 cards that we have. Okay. Take your power back. I love these 3 cards, and Temperance is going to help you balance this awareness. So thank you guys so much. Son Goku, thank you for the idea. And now I'm going to do the live readings. Okay. In conclusion, once again, for those of you who are Infinity Club, you will have access to this replay, and thank you guys very much. And so, yes, in conclusion, I'm now going to once again do the reading. So, Lightworker Enterprises, what does it mean when Saturn opposes my sun starting March 7th? Young Dolph died when Saturn was opposite his Leo, and Chadwick Boseman died when Saturn was opposite his Cancer sun. Pop Smoke died literally the day Saturn was opposite his sun, and Tory Lanez is in prison. Young Thug is in prison. I've been saying protect these signs at all costs because it is the devil against you. It's opposition. This opposition is strengthening through trials your power. And it's not speculation. This is science. So this is meant to make you stronger than ever. They're coming for Virgo. This is the collective delusion that's coming for facts. So you maintaining this integrity of your beliefs towards others will break you through. You want to expect to become stronger than ever through facing the world with the realness of yourself as the realist. So this Pisces season is bringing you an awareness of your belief of other people and how you have grown and evolved so much since last year in 2022, where Jupiter evolved your partnerships. And it's cool because you are a Pisces rising. So this is putting you in a position like never before to manifest wealth, because Jupiter is going through your second house, and this is preparing you to be this personification of who you are in relationships with other people and how you are divine mirror and match other people, so that now once Saturn is coming through, you're an embodiment of karma. This is like starting a new business and getting it off the ground where you have extra responsibility, but Jupiter's in your second, Uranus is in your third, so you understand how to take action to bring in this expansion of worth. Jupiter is evolving your self-esteem, and don't necessarily be perturbed by other people who don't understand what you're doing. They're stupid. If they wanted to understand what you're doing, they would just research. So don't necessarily let their problems be your problems, because you don't have to waste your time with any of that BS. Okay, so next we have Carrie. Okay, Carrie, we know you are the angel soul as one of God's chosen, Aries sun. I want to welcome Venus Mays to God Squad. Welcome. Okay. And personally, no problem, Nancy. I really love the Pisces rising you have. It's really awesome. Okay. So knowing that, Carrie, you have the Cancer rising and you got the transcendent angel soul, Jupiter in your 10th house is preparing you for this explosion of taking your career to the next level, being in the spotlight, being the shining light in this period of darkness that's going to direct and guide people through with your authenticity, your true authenticity. Mars is revving up your soul, really making you passionate about the direction to go through as we end Pisces season. And as we step into Aries and Mars goes into Cancer, you're ready to go. So this Pisces season is changing the philosophical approach on what your religion is and how tapped in you are to God, and all the revelations that are showing you synchronicities of everything you've always known your whole life, which is very pivotal, because relative to everything that's changing the direction of how you move forward in career, Pisces season is going to reveal to you what direction to move into and why you should move into that direction. So post full moon, you're going to understand the attitude and the skills that will go into really how you're changing this element of your beliefs versus how you started Pisces season, versus understanding unseen dynamics that strengthen your connection with God, and then boom, boost you forward towards Aries season, coming into that 10th house transit. And the 9th house is the house of God. So I feel like you're going to see elements of this divine creator through the collective like never before, whispering messages to your 12th house moon that no one else will hear but you. And it's going to be super magical. Okay. Lauren. All right. We know that you have your rising in Aquarius. You're the high queen. And so you're manifesting as a Pisces sun magic. You are similar to me in that I'm a second house Gemini sun, and people pay me so that I can talk to them about the truth one-on-one. Well, people are going to pay you to give them hope, to change their beliefs. And this is not one-on-one. It's the highest level of currency. It's collective. So this could be graphic design. This could be manifesting, you know what I'm saying? Your imagination. You can monetize your imagination. Second house sons were bosses. Forest Fairy Tarot, who said that she manifested her soulmate out of thin air, she's a second house Capricorn. She really got that power like that. And so you are one of the most divine magical manifestors of all time. And Saturn has anchored the total knowledge of who you are as high queen, because we see you also have the North Node in Leo, and clearly, you know, with Neptune in Sag and Pluto in Libra, you are a heavy hitter of this 80s generation that you represent. And what's also, or maybe 70s, but personally, regardless, no, yeah, Jupiter, Saturn. So that's like 70, that's post 79, so 80s. And what's really powerful about this is with Mars and Venus here with Neptune, this is transcending the element of how supernaturally you can manifest your experience with just your mind. And this is preparing you for Aries season that's going to adjust the direction of how you develop these skills, these raw skills of your value and how valuable you find these raw skills. So Pisces season is revisiting what you believe about your confidence and what you're worth, and changing your value to reflect how you've evolved your finances last year with Jupiter going through your second. This is such a huge deal. And when Saturn goes into your second house, this is like the pool expanded on how much money you can make. And over the next 2 years, the construction crew is now solidifying and pouring cement so that that expanded pool stays expanded. And this is going to be you commanding wealth and having the authority through Saturn in your sign to command more and be more serious about what you commit to manifesting, because now you know yourself more than ever. Very powerful. Lauren, I really hope that resonated because your chart is fucking divine. It's super awesome. It's very revealing, let's just say. So next we have Alba. Let's get it. Eskitty. So Alba, we know you're 27-degree Cancer rising. We see you. We know you also have Saturn and Neptune in Cap. So you're born 88, right? Goat squad right there. 29 degrees Uranus and Sag is crazy. And you're a Sagittarius. Oh my God. So the Virgo moon Sagittarius, some of the most perfectly like gorgeous women I've ever seen. Virgo moon and also Sag and both, which I wanted to highlight because it's very interesting how you kind of denote that inner perfection. And having that moon in Virgo on the South Node means that you're a vessel of destiny. So 88, Big Sean, Janae Aiko, this is y'all last lifetime here. Y'all are just so fed up with the 3D. You're like, I'm out this bitch, because you had so much earth wisdom that you're getting ready to transcend the philosophy. North Node in the 9th house falling in your 8th means that you're here to create your own divine religion, that with the Aries AC, with Mars and Aries, you assertively, uncompromisingly move forward towards this definition of yourself. You're your own brand. So people have to see you. Your legacy is to be your own self and for people to understand who and what you are. And so because you have 29 degrees Uranus as a sun Sag, you are so claircognizantly magical. You see the instant meaning of an experience instantly. And this could be like a clairvoyant vision, infinite divine light. Please click the description box below to join the queue. But you're going to have Sun 29 degrees Pisces square your Sun Uranus with Pluto 29 degrees. And what this is going to do is put you in a position where before anyone else knows what's happening, right before we enter Aries season, you're going to understand unconventionally the full meaning and reason of everything that's happening. And this is hitting you from your 6th house to your 9th house. So this is going to unconventionally steer the changing of your beliefs to guide you towards exactly how to live the most unconventional, amazing life, so that you can convert all of this to move in the direction of your career that sustains this. And it's just going to be epiphany after epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. And I would say now that, of course, the moon is in Taurus. Once the moon goes into Cancer and goes over your rising and is full with your moon, that's where things are going to really pick up. And you're going to understand very quickly ahead of the pack how to really make sense of everything and lead by example as well. All right, next we have Emily. Okay. Emily, we know that you were born in 79. So your North Node Virgo, heaven to earth, which is opposite 88. I love that. Gemini rising means you're an angel, Barbcat. And so you're an angel that the North Node in Gemini unlocked your angelic being. You know the truth of yourself more than ever. And it's now unlocking your lifestyle so that you can manifest this grounded spirituality to actually manifest the physical attributes of you being an angel. It's the coolest thing about being a Gemini rising right now. But as a Libra sun, you are not only creating your dream life, this awareness of the dream life you're creating is facilitating and playing out in your career. So you're turning your dream life into your dream job. And Barbcat, this is so very important because the more delusional you are with this, appreciate you, Alba, you'll realize that you're not delusional at all. you're actually super smart and super intelligent. Remember, you're a celestial angelic being. Oh my God, Leo Moon, that's Bruno Mars energy. You're the golden artist as an angel. That is amazing. That is fucking amazing. And you've been feeling this opposition towards your attitude, towards your philosophy and the knowledge of yourself as an angelic being. But this 10th house Pisces is so important because you are building your routine and lifestyle around the goals and the life you want to live with your career. And Barbcat, the fact that you're doing that, by the time we're in Pisces season, you've created that. Now it's no longer just an idea. You have effectively put the mechanisms in place for you to live this life more than ever, and then actualize this one Aries with Jupiter in your 7th, and you're moving forward with the right people to support this dream. And on top of that, it's putting you in a position, 11th house as a Gemini rising, to connect as a relationship with authentic friends. So this is such a dynamic period for you, as of course having the energy that you have, because I mean, this intelligence with Libra alone is one thing, but being born in 79, having all this energy as Pluto Libra, you're an awakener. You're a social awakener. You're here to really challenge the social activity around you by having thought-provoking conversations that it reveal extremely the nature of people's characters. So it's really made healing. I love that. I love that. Because 6th house is tied to health. So it looks like, okay, plant medicine's healing center. And with Chiron in Taurus, this is transcending the element of how you deal with others and heal using these natural resources. And with Uranus, you're going to find that this center you're creating produces miraculous results. And you have the intellect to break down how that works out scientifically, which once again is super amazing. Okay, I'm really honored I got to read your chart. All right, Robert Willis. We know that as a rising Sagittarius, this is going to facilitate the comfort zone that's been expanded last year. Your soul evolved 2022. And so where you feel more comfortable being yourself is different to where you have so much confidence being yourself. You can feel projections. And that's what a lot of people don't know about you. With your Pisces moon now feeling the nature of this transit, you can pick up people's collective insights about you. People can be dissing you and feeling all their shadows, and you know what it is they're thinking, and they don't know you have a hidden camera in their consciousness collectively picking all this stuff up because you're ascended. And so as a Cancer with this in the 8th house, you are aware of other people's emotions. You're a monster with this. You are the divine priest as an ascended being. You're a god, bro. Like this is you're a god of the god. You're a god level individual with the god level personality. You're fucking ascended. You see into people's energy. And now this Pisces season is transcending this collective divine home space and family that puts you into a position, and I'm very honored, to realistically once again open up, okay, how much of your latent potential in how realistically you can bring this to society, the divine insights. You pull from this moon in Pisces to deal with others in Cancer and transform their emotions, which is so goddamn dynamic. So with Mars that's in your 7th house, this is charging based on how you're aware your soul can map out this foundation, especially if you're moving around this period, who to move forward with, how assertively to express these ideas. And Jupiter in your 5th is getting you ready for the revival of your inner child and for you to revive other people's inner child. But as a Cancer sun, that's 10th house to you. So your awareness of your career evolution is all based on your passion. I wouldn't be surprised if you picked Pal 2, but even if you didn't, focus on your passions and how comfortable you feel. The 4th house, you have to be in a comfortable environment so that you can be passionate. So this is what's preparing you to change your beliefs around where your true home is, who your true soul tribe is, and who you feel comfortable being vulnerable with, which is a very key facet to this process. Brandy, we know you're a Cancer rising. And what I love about talking about the Cancer rising dynamic is the 9th house Pisces. You did pick Power 5. I knew it. All that 5th house energy, Robert, focus on your dude. Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie. Brandy, I'm sorry, Robert, you have to focus on your inner child, because if you pick part two, you're getting ready to revive the inner children of everyone around you, and it's powerful. So that just focus on everything you love. That's gonna just push you forward even before you know. And so, Brandy, you are seeing the unseen. I really appreciate the Cancer rising, especially with their ability to have dreams, because your feelings are showing you metaphysical insights, and this is now changing the element of your philosophy, especially with the moon in Scorpio, because you're the pure angel transcendent in the 12th house. You're the pure angel that understands the extreme wisdom relative to the hidden truth that you see that other people don't see. You talk to these angels. 12th house Gemini is the supernatural ability to talk with extra dimensional beings through your thoughts. It's just you actually understand what it is you're seeing because you're not really from here. Obviously, you're angel gang. And so this is evolving your career and the communities with Uranus and Taurus that revolve around you as an angel to come into this angelic wisdom. And so it's very interesting, this changing of your personality and philosophy as Saturn. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. As Saturn gets ready to go into your ninth and now gives you authority to really materialize the element of your philosophy like never before. So, with Virgo in the third, really think about how critically you analyze your ideas and how all this comes together in metaphysical, abstract beliefs that are more grounded than ever by your spiritual path. And the south node that's over your Scorpio moon has unlocked depths to your Hades moon, because you have a goddess soul. You have Pluto on your moon, and it's unlocked greater depths to how much energy you can harness in your soul to transform how creatively you live your lifestyle and routine. So Pisces is going to once again really point you more in the direction of really where to take all of this. So Elise, Saturn and Pisces transit reading. We know that as a late Libra rising, this puts most of Pisces in your fifth house. And so the Saturn transit is getting ready to construct realistically the integrity of how serious you are about your creative talents and how you're ready to integrate these creative talents into your dream life so that you can be more serious than ever about living the life that you love, a life that with Jupiter and Pisces is exceptionally magic to you and not necessarily compromising in the nature of how everything you imagine is a part of your actual routine. And having Saturn in Sagittarius is key because when Saturn goes into Pisces, you have now finished blossoming the extraordinary knowledge of this integrity of vision you have unconventionally set forth. And you are getting ready to integrate this in a way that's no longer just a vision, but a very divine and supernatural element of your day to day. Imagine waking up every day and you can just imagine, I'm going to imagine this, I'm going to experience this, I'm going to experience that. And it's your form of prayer. And that's what happens every day. You've been doing this your whole life. But what if you had the ability to control every facet? Congratulations. That's what this Pisces season is beginning. And by the time we finish Pisces season, you have mastered this and you're getting ready to move forward in your relationships. Because once we step into April and May of 2023, Jupiter will finish out of your seventh house and it will put you in a position to now come into Taurus where your sun is at the mastered 28, 29 degrees. And prepare for you to enlighten all of this through Gemini as it now matches these partnerships you're destined to come into. And August is the month where the North Node returns for you in Aries, which is what everything you're going through is preparing you to do to move forward in a transcendent sense with partnerships with people who align with this highest nature of your being. Okay, so next we have Iwa. Okay, we do have the sun in Aries. One moment. All right. So, Ewa, we know that you have the Leo rising. You're a main character, but you also have 29 degrees Jupiter in Cancer. Jesus Christ. Jupiter in Cancer is in its exaltation, and you have this transcendent ability to feel emotions so richly. And you having the sun in exaltation in Aries is also a huge deal on your MC. God damn, your chart is amazing. This is not only you being the main character, but you are the shining light. You are the exalted light of God here in the ninth house of God that makes you the archetype I like to call the sun god king or the sun goddess queen. It's specific to ninth house Aries suns with Leo risings like Dolo, the royal archangel. And what's really key here with your moon in Virgo is you're a vessel of Saturn. I'm going to share with you an alien construct like me, who is another moon Saturn. We're soul reapers. Okay. All of us with moon Saturn, we're soul reapers. And so this puts you in this understanding of karma in link with destiny that now Pisces season is going to unlock more understanding of who you can deal with in order to take this inner authority of all the details you feel within in your soul that are right, no matter what's around it. Anything that you feel within is aligned with destiny to manifest in your reality, which is such an amazing superpower, that person or magical ability that personally now with the eighth house in Pisces, this total karmic value in Virgo, you're using as a resource to now see who you can trust, because all of this is behind your Aries sun. And so you're releasing unconscious habits around how magically Eva, there we go, Eva or Eva, you're releasing subconscious beliefs around who you can trust. And this is going to reveal through your Virgo moon, through the minute, of course, body language discernment you read, who you can trust, who not to trust. With Neptune in Sagittarius, you must trust what your clairvoyant visions tell you. But 29 degrees Pisces, trine 29 degrees natal Jupiter, opposite 29 degrees Pluto in Capricorn, is such a powerful evolution that's going to make and break and forever transform the hard work since 2008 you have relentlessly done on transforming your health and transforming your lifestyle. Congratulations, you have completed it. And as Pluto goes into your seventh house and awakens these partnerships, this is going to facilitate Saturn getting ready to go into your eighth house and transform these boundaries, which will be like a spiritual warfare transit. But you have Pluto opposite your sun, Jesus Christ. That's like DJ Academics, Candace Owens, Chris Brown, Taurus suns opposite Pluto Scorpio. People either hate you or they love you because you're here to challenge society. You're here to be the authentic individual that calls out the fake and the inauthentic. And that may have made you very hated even by people in your family, but who cares? You're here to, you literally have the magical ability to manipulate fate and destiny. Moon, Saturn, North Node, and Virgo. That is gangster. You are a gangster instantly. And they hate you because you're the realist. You're the fucking realist and you don't compromise. And this world is yours to conquer. I wouldn't be surprised if you chose pile 3, but maybe you chose 2 or 1. It is what it is. Regardless, this is definitely getting ready to break you through into the greatest career evolution of your life with Jupiter, Venus, all in your MC in the 10th. It is well deserved, okay? And just be prepared to imagine the direction you want to move into, because there's literally nothing that can stop you at this stage. So now we have Christian Dixie. Okay, I love your chart, Christian, because you have such a strong Leo rising Aquarius axis, which is so iconic. And I love that you are in the music field. Like, you're so in love with singing and you have this extraordinary talent. You are a supernatural alien wizard. Like, you have XXX Tentacion energy, by the way. Moon and Sag, Aqua Sun. Daylight has this sun and moon. Logic. People may not like him that much, but people do like him too. Whether you like him or not, he's a gifted artist. Logic is also Moon, Sag, Sun, Aqua. Like, every single Aqua I see with this is one of the best of their fields. And you, out of all of them, are one of the most supernaturally awakened beings, because you awaken the joy of true love in people to fully eccentrically be themselves and to love themselves. And so with Saturn that's finishing out your 7th house, you have completed the karma since 2008 to develop the mastery of your character to well you can be in a relationship with anybody and hold space with your boundaries. You have greater standards. You don't just give your power away. And I have to really speak on Saturn because this 8th house transit is not only going to challenge your beliefs, you are expressly new gen. You're born in 2001. So you are preparing for your Saturn return. And in advance, because you are, of course, a much more mature consciousness, this is helping you manifest your value relative to who you can deal this value towards and who realistically, once again, you can trust, which will open up so much more. Ever since you were 7, man, and at 7 years old, you had the maturity and consciousness of a fucking 50, 60-year-old. All right, which I love Aquarius children. They're literally so fucking genius, even as children. But I mean, you have this collective responsibility that Saturn squaring this transiting Saturn right now will ground so much more with Uranus transiting this, how realistically you can manifest this element of your career. The way this looks like with music is the way you do music, the music you do, no one else is making the music you do. No one else sings in the way you do. And so you have a opportunity to put out projects that will instantly set you apart and really shape the nature of the gang and community that's around you. But going through the 8th house, you have to believe in who you can trust. And the moon in Sagittarius is going to show you relative to what you see in people, whether they're trustworthy or not. So really trust what it is you see. But this 8th house transit is 2nd house to your aqua sun. So you're manifesting trust. And that's what's going to develop how you move forward. Once we step into Aries season, it's skyrocketing. This is your rising star year, by the way. Everyone clap for Christian Dixie, because this is the year where you're going to come into more notoriety. You're actively taking actions that bring you to a higher standing. And this is the transformation of your beliefs that adjust your direction in the boat so you can move in that direction. Okay. Shout out to you, Iwa. Thank you so much. Your charts are so fucking amazing. I am loving your charts. Naquan Moore. Saturn returns. Let's get it. So Naquan, Miss Nari, we know that you have your rising in Sagittarius, your moon on Uranus in Aquarius. The audacity. You 97s, you people born 97, it's just like, oh, I can say that about 94 too. In all these years, the audacity for you to have such a genius soul. I can't stand y'all. How is it that you just automatically already know what's going on before anyone knows it? Every one of you with moon, Uranus, Aquarius, get out my chat. You're so alien. I'm so jealous, by the way. That's why I'm saying get out. Y'all are the only ones that, like, before anyone knows what's happening, you're so weird. You already know. And then you have Jupiter on your moon. So you have such an evolved soul. Your soul is crack. And then you have a 29-degree Neptune. You have a 29-degree Neptune that Pluto is going to awaken like never before. The audacity for you to be so psychic that your body will just know what's happening before you even know what's happening. Jesus Christ. And then you're an ascended being on top of that. Like you just literally just told the universe, universe, I'm just going to help, deal with other people's feelings because they need to know how to feel. And if it's not for me, they're not going to know how to feel. So I'm just going to grace people. And it's like you're humble at the same time, too. It's crazy. Anyway, this is definitely going to show you like never before how to be at home, living out elements of your philosophy. This is really bringing more to a powerful understanding how you represent the philosophical nature and approach of your beliefs and how you change the comfort zone of performing this. There's a complex element to this here now that Saturn is finishing out of your 3rd house and you're taking skill sets you have now mastered and you're going to need to synthesize and integrate them. But once again, your chart is so dope. I'm so like Moon Uranus in Aquarius is one of those aspects that I want to research so much and do a lot of case studies for, because y'all are no comment. And then you already have Mercury on the sun. So you're magic AF. But with Saturn and Aries, this is going to prepare you for your Saturn return as you're getting ready to close the old karmic cycle. And because your South Node is in Pisces, 97, you're heaven to earth. So this is going to help you understand and unlock this inner divine world of sunshine and possibility and hope that by the full moon, you're going to understand how to make this more real in the society around you as a Sag rising. And instrument of Pluto that's going to help you actually see this in your dreams. I can imagine, like this is next level. I love the new gen. Like y'all take the psychic ability to the next level. It's truly extraordinary. Jordan Garza. All right. There we go. Jordan, thank you. We see you're a Pisces rising. Now, Pisces risings are dope. And then we see your sun is in Sag. So being born at 93, yep, your North Node Sag. 93 Sages are amazing to me because 93 Sages, you guys are the creators of destiny. I have to emphasize this. If you're a 92 Sag or a 93 Sag, you are the destiny of light that's creating forward. And as an ascended master and being, as a divine being, you have recently started your 12-year cycle to where you're stepping into this realization and evolution of who you are since 2010 when you did this last time. But now your power has returned. You've had your Saturn return. You're ready to go. And as Saturn goes over your sign, you're going to now materialize the full divine power of your being. So Jupiter is manifesting expanded confidence, and it's raising your prices on what you charge. Yesterday's price is not today's price, but you're a Sag of destiny. You're a 93 Sag. This is such a huge deal. 93 Sages have 25-degree max karma, which you just returned. And so you know what it is you see. But all of you 92, 93 Sages, you literally have the magical ability to peer into destiny, and you can see every possibility that if you create this, this will happen. If you create this, this will happen. If you create this, this will happen. It's an ascended ability that is so freaking magical. One of my Sag crushes has that. Remember that Sag crush that I was talking about, guys? She's a 93 Sag. Ooh, beautiful. But I've experienced synchronicities with this vibration because as the collective light, you show everyone synchronicities, whether you're aware of it or not. And you have this as a Libra moon. And so this helps you understand in alignment with Moon and Gemini, the intellectual context of how to think about the development of your magical being to where you're not just somebody doing magic abilities. You are the embodiment of the magical ability. So you're focusing more on who you're being. And this Pisces season is going to revisit how much you are comfortable with being who you are. And you're breaking through old comfort zones that may have had you hold yourself back with all this hidden 12th house belief that you have long since transcended. Congratulations, especially having this rising at late Pisces. The full moon will help you understand how to navigate this sense of being towards other people that can facilitate more than ever how powerful you step into this. So I really hope that resonates with you because once again, it's really dope. And with this new cycle, you're getting ready to step into this brand new 12-year evolution. The last time I had Jupiter in my first, I became the peace dealer. So Jupiter going to the first is so important. It's destiny that's sparking this out with fortune. And, it's definitely going to challenge how powerfully you believe in yourself and believe who you are moving forward. Okay, because you're going to come into facets this season that you may not necessarily accept that you're that divine, but you are more divine than you could have ever imagined. Justin, I see you study with Gemini Brown. I see you a Gemini yourself. No, not you having 29 degrees moon in Pisces. Oh, hell no. Not you being the divine angel. I'm a big fan of Pisces moon Geminis. That's Kanye, that's Prince, that's Kendrick, that's OT Genesis. This is the divine angel. It's the highest level of Gemini. And the reason why I respect it so much is because you help people change their beliefs around what they think is true. You show people the element of miracles that could be made living out your dreams, getting out our dreams. Good music. Shout out to Ye, one of the most legendary Gemini, Sun, Pisces moons. But 29 degrees Pisces is one of the most divine, advanced soul spaces ever. And that final conjunction of the sun here is going to bring you to a proclivity of awareness of how your soul is connected to your career path, but more importantly, how as a Libra rising and artist, you're ready to create this dream life. Because with your sun in the ninth, you are a very powerful and magical angel. And I really do appreciate how supernaturally you show people the meaning of truth as a ninth house Gemini sun. And I like that you work with Gemini Brown, moon in Virgo, moon in Pisces, so your partner souls. But what's really, really, really cool here is that with this element of Pisces, you are now being aware. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm about to read your chart after. Oh my God. So please pay attention, Isaiah, because what you and Justin have in common is you are being aware of how this transcendence of what you can achieve in your career, how that fits into your lifestyle, how the dream life creates the dream career. And this is what's finalizing. And so you must live in the end state of what it is that you do. Do you even work? If you're retired, live that. And this is going to facilitate. So once we move forward in Aries, as a Libra rising, you're going to be moving forward with this evolution of partnerships that enables you to now partner with movers and shakers that very powerfully advances you forward. Okay. And in that vein, if we kind of now look at Isaiah, right, as a fellow Gemini sun, Pisces moon, but as a Sag rising, you're total magic. Jesus Christ, dude, not you having Pluto on Chiron on the rising. Jesus, you're a truth blaster. Oh my God, not you having Mars, Venus, and Mercury in the seventh house. Yo, Isaiah, this is you. Full-time poker player. Oh, that's lit. That's lit. That's lit. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. So you literally have this unconventional life. And Isaiah, you're a truth blaster. And you extremely trigger people because you could just walk up to someone, look in their eyes and be like, wow, you used to be an angel in a past life. Or wow, you have daddy issues. Anyway, I have to do this. And your moon in Pisces is in the flow. So just like how everyone who has sun, moon, and rising in a fixed sign is a king or queen, if you have sun, moon, rising in a mutable sign, you're a total magi. And you are the divine truth. But as an ascended being. So as an ascended being, you are understanding how you can be at home in your career. This can open up working from home. This can open up being in a space that enables you to feel how powerful. Yes. This shit is dope because you already have Mars in Gemini. A-team. And it actually is dope because Isaiah and Justin, you have the opposite sun and moon as Alba, which is really cool to see here. But personally, once again, like this is really helping you facilitate your ability to change people's perceptions just like this. And what's really exciting about this is there's been so much magic within you welling up that has never had expression until now, because Uranus in your sixth house is with, oh my God, not you having Jupiter conjunct Saturn 22 degrees until I gotta go. This is insane. This is fucking insane. Square Uranus in a You're born 2000. You're born 2001 or something. You're 2000. This is crazy, man. You people born in the 2000s are ridiculous to me. Late 90s, 2000s, the audacity for y'all to just be so advanced. Like this shit don't even make no sense. This square with Saturn and Jupiter, 22 degrees exact, is so ridiculous with Uranus that you have a claircognizant ability to discern the truth, once again, without even having to know exactly the context details without Virgo. So this puts you in a position to take these higher-minded ideals and attitude. You have a very cosmic attitude, but you have very unconventional ways of grounding them. So you can think the chart like this is where you can think, you know what? I want to be able to calculate people's power levels. Like, how would it be cool if I can just discern? Like, you can look at people and then you can kind of sense how powerful they are. And then now this Taurus 6th house is creating a calculator that can measure people's power levels. That's the level of innovative genius you're in. And when you have your Saturn return, you're going to manifest that. And this is this grounded lifestyle that Pisces is going to help you feel at home with, and how feeling at home with can push you forward in your career, Isaiah. But remember, okay, your awareness of this, right, as a Gemini is going to help you understand how you can live this dream life. And finally, Lauren, we see you're we see you're a natural queen, 21 degrees Taurus, as a Pisces sun, the divine collaborator, and Saturn in Sag. So you having Uranus in Sag is kind of a version of what I just read here, but Uranus in Sag with Saturn in Sag, being born in this late 80s chapter, you're here to break the matrix. You're here to bust the system. Kind of like Andrew Tate, who had his son here, but maybe not as villainous as he. As he was. You have more compassion with the Pisces, but you're all here to break the matrix. That's the thing. You're all of you with Uranus, Saturn, Sag. You're the first God level people to break the matrix at a collective level where everyone in the world knows you. And this is giving you the understanding in Pisces to form the community and the dream team to make the dream work, and how you can see the higher level of what's possible for you to achieve while simultaneously transforming that vision. And what's really dynamic about your energy here is that with Aries in your 12th house, you're getting ready to release the old unconscious habits and beliefs about yourself, because you're manifesting more community tied around, the whole notion of how powerful you have always been. Okay, so this is really going to bring into very powerful onus and element who your true friends are, and now who you're ready to move forward with. Because once we step into 2024, this is going to release, of course, this element of, now you could feel lethargic, but you're going to get ready to begin a brand new 12-year cycle coming into, once again, 2024. And this is going to, of course, bring into perspective where everything belongs in your life, where the right beliefs in your life belong, amongst other things. So, Zena Lee Ann, I just got your PayPal. Please let me get your chart. Por favor. Give it to me, baby. Appreciate you, Isaiah. Please, if I can get your chart real quick. Otherwise, I will make my leave. I must pick up my friend at the airport right now. He just landed, so he'll be here in 20 minutes. Or I have to pick him up in 20 minutes. Bill. Okay, Zena. Once again, I got your PayPal, but I still haven't gotten your chart. Oh. No, I didn't get a chart. I didn't get anything to spam. So, it got sent to spam. It got sent to spam. Okay, so basically, we see your sun has the Capricorn rising 13 degrees. Your sun has Uranus on the sun in Aquarius, so he's an alien god. Okay. As it, and I'm gonna give you, of course, an alien construct article to look, because he can channel higher frequency beings, and he's a leader of the new age. Okay, Uranus sun, Aquarius is like what's that basketball player from Miami Heat? Tyler Harrow. He's like Tyler Harrow. And then of course he has moon in Cancer, so he's a holy celestial as a director god. And so Pisces is developing his attitude. What is it like to have this high vibration? Because he's a leader of the new school, having Saturn in Aries. And as a leader in the new school, Xena, it's very important, because once 2025 rolls, he's going to come of age. So before he comes of age, he's getting ready to release old attitudes and old beliefs around his worth and value, because he has the king of the gods on his sun. And then he also has the god of heaven on his sons, Jupiter, Uranus, Sun, Aquarius at the beginning of Aquarius. Once Pluto comes into Aquarius, is instantly going to awaken this. And this is what's going to set off his Aries season to really determine how powerfully he moves forward with the value of his identity. This is a super powerful person with a holy soul. So he's able to really tap into his psychic insights and feelings. This is someone who's very logical, but has to tap into the irrational and nonlinear nature of his feelings so that he can integrate those feelings with the logic of his mind. And yes, by the time he finishes this next 2-year chapter, he will have completed his power and he'll become a leader of the new school. So this is him getting ready to complete the old cycle. And Pisces season is going to change the direction of what value he has on his divine skills as he gets ready to lead the charge of awakening the celestial energy. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with your sun coming into the end of May or March and coming into April. Anyway, this is really beautiful. I sent you that alien construct article. I'm going to post this article. If you're Infinity Club, I'm going to post this on the community tab. If you're Infinity Club, you can watch the replay. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, get your dreaming on.